Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live back at it again, folks. It's a feel-good Friday night. We got WWE Smackdown and AEW Rampage here at the Wrestling for Life Network. Another live stream for everybody. Get in that chat. Go hit all those buttons, and I hope everyone out there is having a happy, healthy, safe weekend and a kickoff. We got some wrestling for you tonight. We're going to get into all of it. We're going to be the live reaction to all the action. So strap in, strap on, grab your snack, grab your feel good, and let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We're live back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We are the channel that just watches more live wrestling than anybody else out there. And no matter how much you try and duplicate it, can't make it happen. So, with all that being said, we got SmackDown tonight. We got Rampage tonight. We got a lot to talk about, lots to get into on the eve of WrestleDream. But a big night here on SmackDown. Roman's in the house. Who else is there? Where's Jimmy? What's KO and Cody gonna say to each other? But, folks, get in that chat. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. Let us know what's on your wrestling mind. But for the next few hours, you're going to be strapped in with Mr. Every Night, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and Mr. Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick, and I feel like, my guy, this has been the show of the week so far. Like, this has been what everybody's waiting for. We've got Roman back. We're going to find out allegedly, hopefully, what's happened between KO and Cody. Do we get a Dwayne? We're probably going to get Jimmy. Do we get a Heyman? This has been the one that I've been waiting for to anticipate and want to pay attention to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, highly anticipated, a lot of wrestling buzz, a lot of wrestling news. But like you said, a lot of people waiting for tonight to see what happens. Of course, we had, Kevin Owens jump Cody after the pay-per-view in the parking lot. Highly talked about, highly debated. Rock returns at the end of the show. What does he mean? A lot of reports about The Rock. I'm sure we're going to talk about the reports that were going around today, which are probably phooey. But Roman will be in the house. Aldis making that very clear today on social media. Again, highly anticipated, done a great job of making the fans want more and look for more. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I think this should be a fun one, Nick.
Oh, absolutely. Well, on top of that, too, we've got Carmelo versus LA Knight for the U.S. title. We had that set up last week with AJ's return and AJ's injury. It's funny how the same source that's quoting the thing about The Rock, which is probably wrong with that, is probably wrong, too, about AJ's injury, but we'll get into that. And then, too, we've got Bianca and Jade taking on Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. So score one for the boys with that one.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good one. I'm looking forward to that one as far as Jakara and Lash getting kind of their main roster debut, getting a little rub, going up against the champs. Again, it might not seem likely that they win, but those belts have changed hands a lot. It's quite possible that we get a surprise tonight, which would be pretty cool.
Right. Well, speaking of surprises, I know we're probably most certainly going to get Jimmy, which is funny to me that Jay, Roman, and Jimmy all separately are like top 3 merch sellers right now within WWE.
Right.
We're probably clearly going to get Jimmy. I'm assuming during the Roman segment. Do we get Heyman?
I don't know. I kind of think at some point, we want to get Heyman, and we kind of expect Heyman, the wise man, to return. But right. I do think part of the storytelling leading into Bad Blood was the fact that everything's been taken away from me. I lost my wise man. I lost my cousin. I lost my family. I lost my table. I lost my ulapala. I lost it all, Nick. So, yeah, I think at some point, is it tonight? I mean, why not? Well, I mean, we do still have to broker some type of deal to kind of get all the pieces in the right place if Survivor Series is going to be what I think it is. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, you do need to bring him back at some point and have him be kind of, like I've said, I think he's going to be the one that pulls all the strings, brings everybody, puts the gang back together. So you do need to probably sooner rather than later start getting the ball rolling with that, because Survivor Series is still in November.
Absolutely. We got time to kill. We got Crown Jewel before that. Mixed reviews to the announcement that we're going to go champ versus champ, which is ironic because I know some people wanted champ versus champ at Survivor Series. We're going to get it at Crown Jewel for the first ever Crown Jewel champion, which, will feel very much like Braun Strowman's Saudi championship, I think.
It's still the longest reigning championship, I think, in WWE currently.
Right. But yeah, so very interesting with that. And again, a lot of the speculation with The Rock. What did Rock mean? Where's Rock going? Is Rock going to fight Roman? Is it all part of the plan, as we maybe suspect? Is he going to go after Cody? Is there a match there? But Cody might be busy. A lot to be answered. And then, of course, there's one little cabana boy out there who decided somehow, some way, that The Rock is too busy for WrestleMania 41.
Was it the Cabana Boy or was it good old Uncle Tuna? Everybody's quoting Uncle Tuna on it. So
is it Tuna? I thought it was Alvarez. My apologies.
Yeah, all due respect to the Cabana Boy, but yeah, I've Uncle Tuna that's out there, and his source is just, well, he told him they're not going to do it. Like, what? Why? I feel like this would have already been planned out, or at least very much in the works, going all the way back to last year's WrestleMania, where it was going to be at a point.
Yep.
Roman versus Rock then, and then they pivoted. So I think 100% this would have already been on the docket, would have already been on the schedule. It makes no sense to me to think that you're going to do the stuff at Bad Blood, you're going to do all of that, and then now all of a sudden just, nope, sorry, can't do it. No.
No, and especially you got to remember, he's on the board. He's not just some dude. He's not just some wrestler. Like, he's also on the board. And again, we talk about Netflix. We talk about John Cena being on Netflix, The Rock being on Netflix. Really making a push for this Netflix deal to take off with bang. So yeah, I mean, for my money, I can't imagine this. I mean, it's in Vegas. It's not like, if he's filming a movie in California, that he can't jump on a 2-hour private jet from from California to Vegas and be involved in this. Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't believe it. It's not substantiated. There is no sources. And again, folks, remember who you believe. And again, a lot of people, I saw Damien, I think, say, a lot of people are reporting, but everybody reports off the same source. They're all drinking from the same poison water.
Yeah, every website that I've gone to, like right now, I have Cultaholic's website pulled up and everything. They're sourcing Meltzer on it. They're sourcing Wrestling Observer Network and all that.
Yeah.
Newsletter. Sorry, we're the network. Damn, we're better than that. We're a network. They're a newsletter. They're a piece of paper. They're wipe your ass with that. But no, to sit there and think that this isn't already in the works, hasn't already been planned out or anything, to me is just not just ass 8, it's ass 9, it's ass 10. And I know that part of it is that obviously if he's going to have a match with Roman that's going to main event WrestleMania, he wants to make sure he's in the best shape to go and do it. But again, you don't think that this hasn't been discussed since 40, actually probably since 39.
Yeah.
So, but at least 40.
Well, this has been talked about since 39 for sure, because he said it. Like, they were that close to making 39 happen. Didn't work out. 40, they were going to make it happen. The Cody Crybabies.
It was all but going to happen. And then the Cody Crybabies,
the pivot, pivot that we are very, a part of the recap of that pivot. So, I mean, again, I do think The Rock is very aware of his role here. I do think The Rock, there's no point bringing him back to have him not do anything. Just bring him back for shits and giggles. So, I mean, again, at the end of the day, a lot of reporters are feeding off the same well. And, it's the same people that will make statements that there's no rhyme or reason to. There's no proof of. Oh, yeah, this company is now profitable. Prove it. Where are your sources? How much is coming in? How much is going out? Oh, this guy's hurt. Prove it. Well, who's telling you this? You're just sitting in a messy basement with Uncle Dave making things up. It doesn't help.
Right. Well, I didn't want to segue this way, but maybe we should talk to the people, speaking to people who make things up at times, not looking at anybody specific. But if if you feel like that applies to you, then it's true.
Right. Cordarius is back with C Money, breaking down the last 7 days in AEW. Real quick on this one, Nick, just the idea that, listen, we've talked about the ratings a lot. We've talked about ticket sales a lot. There's a certain contingent that apparently don't think that matters or don't think they're real or whatever. At some point, the numbers are the numbers, and you can't, analytics are there for a reason. My main concern with this overall isn't the ratings, isn't the tickets. It's all tied together, but it is the quality of programming. And again, if there's people out there getting off on Hologram or Jericho or the Bucks, good on you. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's my main concern is the correlation between poor programming and poor analytics.
Yeah, they keep track of stats in sports for a reason, folks. But yeah, you can't tell me that there isn't some sort of a connection with what you put on TV versus how many people want to tune in to watch that on their TV. It's
Right.
got to go clearly hand in hand. And I saw someone do the math, and I'm terrible at it. I failed it a couple of times, so I'm not sure if it's correct or not.
Amen.
Of that AEW as a collective, ratings wise, and again, do with the ratings what you will, did not even equal NXT for the week,
No,
which
no.
is sad.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you get the built-in kind of, well, they were moved to Tuesday night, blah blah blah, and I get it. You're not wrong with that. That has an impact on your audience. But if your program is
But half,
less than half,
your
I mean,
audience.
it's insane. But you're right. And then Collision, I mean, again, Saturday nights is a tough one. Even when you're up against a bad blood, so you do 300,000, 300,000, a couple thousand. You didn't even do 800,000 or just slightly over 800,000. I mean, combined. And I'm happy that they re-signed this deal. But I think that because Time Warner is getting a kickback, and because guys like Uncle Dave are, getting a kickback as well, that at the end of the day, they're going to report it kindly. And this deal makes sense because you take no risk if you're going to get a percentage of a lot of things. And I just want the product to get better. And we can stop talking about the ratings and how shit they are.
If 100%, and yeah, but if you're personally invested, if you have skin in the game when it comes to how well a company does or not, you're very much going to speak positively about it. Just saying.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to do everything you can to try and help make it successful. And I think that's part of WrestleMania tickets go on sale, and that particular group of people come out and go, "Oh, The Rock won't be there." Like, it's not going to stop it. They're still going to sell out those buildings. Like, I know it's ridiculous.
That actually were those the same time?
Similar, close.
Okay, I didn't even put those two together. Actually, honestly,
right? They've been on sale for a bit, but it's funny, right? Like, it's almost like, how can we deter people from liking this product? And I mean, it's just weird shit. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We just want to see the product get better. They have a pay-per-view tomorrow night, and I hope it cooks. I really do.
Right.
Rocco, welcome back. Three-way between Rock, Roman, and Cody. I don't think so.
That's been talked about a lot lately. That's been thrown out a lot.
Maybe.
I still just want the straight up match. Like you said earlier. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say we've had it teased since 39. By now we're 2 years deep. I want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you get the straight up match, and on top of that, I do think this is partly why KO beat up Cody the way he did. We're gonna peel Cody away from this. This is family business. Cody's not Samoan last time I checked. So I think you get him away from it by having KO and then maybe Randy as well turn on him one after the other. Everybody turns on him. Dusty style, baby.
It's Dusty Rhodes, baby. He's out there being the greatest babyface of all time.
Right. What's up, Wrestling Proud? Kevin, always a pleasure. Welcome back. Damien, I already mentioned you, but welcome, sir. Clay Lewis, Danisha joining us. Welcome. See Money, I think we got ya. Christian, always good for a laugh. Bradley, giving out memberships like it's Halloween candy. So thank you so much, Bradley, for the support, and whoever takes advantage of that membership. Thank Bradley. Bradley's a nice guy.
Yeah, but I do think it does have to go in part a little bit with the Yankees win. The Yankees win.
The Yankees doing their thing. It's pissing me off again.
I'm still hoping for a Subway Series, guys. Sorry.
No, it's a good one. Richard, welcome. Steven, good to see you. I might have skipped over Art King. Welcome. Byron, Dale, the OG, good to see you. Robert Brown, welcome back. Lafayette, Indiana, in the building. Lafayette, I was curious about a place like that. Dennis Hodge. What?
I said it sounds like it should be Cajun. Every time I hear Lafayette, I think Louisiana.
Not Indiana. What's up, Dennis? How you doing? Melissa's with us. Welcome. Keyshawn, Meltzer's the GOAT. Keyshawn, I told you about stuff like this.
You have been warned.
Elimination Chambers back in the house. Welcome.
National Choir Meltzer. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it.
We need to see if we'll talk about this after, but if we did like a shirt that's got the Wrestling Observer Network, but it's done like the National Enquirer and shit like that, it's just got bullshit storylines that Meltzer's gotten wrong on it.
Might be tricky, but we might be able to. Chambers, welcome back. Jason Ryan. There's no electricity here after the hurricane in Milton. Hope you're doing well. T's and P's, Jason, and to everybody out there in Florida and the surrounding area. I hope you are doing well. I hope your power comes on soon. I know us Canadians sent a whole bunch of power workers out there to help out. So they were just in Georgia. Now they're being sent over to Florida. So, Canadian strong, but hopefully
y'all sent beavers. Y'all sent beavers to make dams. Y'all sent beavers to make dams.
Right. Eric's back with us. 1, 2, 3, kid. Welcome. Capone. Good to see you. The Friday night knee pad police are on patrol. Speaking of the police, we've been getting that teaser. Police car, hot rod, engine strikes. We think it's Motor City Machine Guns. A lot of people do. Are they due to show up tonight? They're not going to save them for Crown Jewel, I don't think. So they are probably going to debut on a weekly show opposed to a pay-per-view. They're not saving them for SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
Yeah, well, it's still just a matter of when now at this point. And it doesn't always help, though, too, when, people backstage or wrestlers at TNA are tweeting out of, I'm so excited. Way to kind of give away the baby with the basket there. But
a little bit.
Could it be tonight? I mean, we really only have the 2 matches and Roman that have been advertised for tonight. So God only knows.
Roman, we assume Cody and KO are going to have some type of something somewhere, or at least a conversation with Cody about getting his ass whooped by KO.
Are WWE's parking lots not like the second or third most dangerous place on the earth at this point? Because someone's always getting beat up there.
Yeah, vehicles blown up, people getting beat up, jumped,
hit by cars, all that shit.
Yeah, tag match for, like we said, the women's title. This match is going to cook. They're going to let them go for a little bit. I think it should be a fun one. Carmelo Andrade, LA Knight, they've all kind of really established a really strong U.S. title, mid-card TV title division on SmackDown. I've really enjoyed what they've done with Carmelo. I think it's been very smart. Should be a fun match, Nick.
Oh, 100%. And LA Knight's over enough that I think WWE is trying to pretty much trust him of he's going to be the figurehead of this whole division. He's going to be the sun that everything rotates around, and it's going to pull in, a Mello and Andrade and really elevate that. WWE's done a really great job as a whole of adding depth of just within stories, within creative, of layers upon layers matter. Like both shows right now have solid mid-card divisions.
Yeah, multiple angles that we kind of want to see, the multiple angles that are good enough where people are like, oh, you got to put this on the pay-per-view, and not everything can be on the pay-per-view, which I do appreciate that we're not getting just a slew of matches thrown together for the month end. But for my money, they've done a good job of making compelling shit throughout the roster, not just your world title picture, but everyone kind of feels like it has a bit of a matter.
Fair enough. Did you happen to say a slew of matches thrown together at a month's end just to try and make it matter? As we had WrestleDream pulled up there, just a little shameless plug here. We will be back tomorrow. What a coincidence! I'm sorry, I don't know how this thing works. But yes, folks, we will be back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow for 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. We will be here right as 0 hour kicks off for WrestleDream.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Believe it or not, really want to see what this card has in store for us. There is some stuff on this that are really going to burn. I hope there's a couple things that overachieve, and we'll see, man. It should be a fun one. And remember, folks, even if the wrestling sucks, we never do. And we will be here live all night long and looking forward to it. So that's tomorrow. Next week, we got lots going on as well. Don't forget, we're going to debut a new show next Thursday. The Wing of the Ring will go live. I encourage everyone that can hear my voice right now, tell all your friends, tell everybody you know, not just wrestling fans, tune in for this one. Nick, Anthony, and I are going to go toe-to-toe in a bit of toe-to-toe-to-toe in a
I
little
told
bit
her
of
so. I fucking told her so. I fucking told her so.
in a bit of a wrestling trivia challenge. And the person that sucks the worst at trivia is going to eat a whole lot of hot wings. And it's going to be a rising scale of hot wings, much like you guys may have seen on other shows. And we'll see if the boys can handle 100,000 Scoville as we get up in the chart here. So it's going to
Looking
be
at you, Sean Evans.
right. Well, it's going to be a fun time. We're looking forward to bringing you guys new content. So be here for that. If nothing else, it should be funny as shit.
Right. But Brother Fluff, what up? Saying, hey, brothers, we're going to be without power for a week, but we are alive. Well, T's and P's, my guy. At least it's still crazy to me that people are dealing with all of that and still want to pop in and say hi. Like, it's interesting and humbling of like we're that involved in their life. They still got to pop in. I may not have power, but I got to say hi to the wrestling buds.
Yeah, 100%. We appreciate it. And again, if we can keep your mind off the bad stuff and focus on some fun stuff, that's what we're here for. And we are about 8 minutes away from the start of SmackDown tonight. Good to see you, Gilly. Welcome back, sir. 316 is here. Let's go.
I'm Bib Nick. I'm gonna need a bib. I feel doing this hot wings challenge and everything. It might be, it's gonna be hard to probably like by round 2 or so to read off the questions when your mouth's on fire, especially if you get a bunch wrong. Yeah.
Right. It should be a good one. This one's funny. No slander against my Chicago brethren.
I know we're not saying slander. We're just saying I'm looking at you.
Right. If the wrestling bad tomorrow, we never are. That's facts, Byron. It's going to be a fun show one way or the other. And worst case scenario, you get to see us throw temper tantrums, which can be slightly entertaining at times.
Right.
What's up, Anthony? Good to see you. As we mentioned, Anthony will be a part of the three-way battle to find out who is the wing of the ring coming up on Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun, Nick. I hope you're looking forward to this one.
Oh, I am. Oh, trust me. I've already been, out there scouting, already been training, eating spicy jalapenos,
right,
one, two, sit there. I got to build up the tolerance.
Nick waking up
in the morning. Homer Simpson and just put wax on my tongue so it don't affect me. And everything.
There you go. So we will break it down. And it will be a fun one. You may see something like this elsewhere, but trust us, folks. We bring it to you.
Often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated.
But I think Andrade caused the DQ. I also think that could be the case tonight in the U.S. title showdown. Andrade gets involved, and maybe this does lead to, at some point, a three-way between these three guys. Should be a lot of fun.
What about AJ Styles?
Well, we're not quite sure what AJ's up to yet. Now, again, it's being reported that he tore some ligaments in his ankle, essentially a high ankle sprain. And we saw it happen. Again, is it a bit of a red herring? And here he comes, and he's going to kick LA Knight in the side of the head and get a whole lot of heat for it. Maybe. Kind of called it out last week. Maybe.
Yeah, I think this injury is at least a work. I don't know if he'll maybe turn around and pop out tonight or anything. But yeah, I don't think that they were going to pay this much attention to everything and have the doctor looking him at all weird and keep cutting back to it if he was really banged up. Like normally they just move away from that as fast as they can.
Right. It did feel a little bit storyline heavy. Like, again, because they kept clipping back to it and stuff. If you legitimately hurt, you let him be hurt. And then we move on with the show. So it'll be very intriguing how LA plays into our AJ ties into all this, but hey, maybe it's just a good old fatal four-way. Everybody fights for the fucking belt. But like we said, that division's stacking up nicely. Nakamura is still out there somewhere.
Absolutely. Well, this is where and like people have even talked about with the 2-hour Monday Night Raw, I think it helps. Now you can layer things upon each other of, this story is prominent this week and then it falls back for a week. So this can pop to the top. And they've done a good job of having stories throughout the entire card.
Absolutely. And I think it kind of goes back to Black and Gold, where they very much had to do that. You didn't get everything every week, and you didn't get the same people every week. And if you really were a fan of somebody and they weren't on that show, you had to wait till the next one, and you would tune in and see if they were there. So, I mean, it makes it exciting. It gives you a reason to tune in each week, and you don't get so tired of seeing the same people over and over and over. Now, you'll always have your stars that stand out, but for my money, it's been a pretty good approach so far. Cherokee George, just found your site. Hello from Eastern Nebraska. There we go.
Man's a cornhusker, I assume.
Ha. How much longer can AJ last? I mean, he looks like he's in great shape. Now,
He's on that
yeah.
Randy Orton, that CM Punk, that, you know, Hugh Jackman workout routine of all of a sudden they go from like muy pequeño to all of a sudden real fast.
Right. If y'all could please donate to help the people dealing with the damage to Helena and Milton, prayers go out to them. 100% Chambers. And again, if you have any spare change, by all means, show your support. But yeah, no, our thoughts and prayers definitely out with the people of, and hopefully, you know, I know hurricane season's been a bit hectic, so hopefully it dies down from here out, and you guys can get everything back together in one piece.
Right. Wesley, what up? Roddy, what up? Byron, what up? Chops, and I don't know if we said hi to you. What's up? Injury prone after being jacked up on steroids from a previous issue. Roddy, speculations.
Yeah, plus they're hurting his ankle. I mean, again, it could happen to anybody. We saw what happened to Jacob Fatu. To say he's injury prone to me is a bit of a stretch. The guy's been pretty durable for 20 years. Like, let's be real. He hasn't spent a whole lot of time on the bench. So yeah, as you get older, you take some bumps and your body doesn't recover the same way. Fluke accident to kind of roll his ankle. It happens to all of us.
Right? Trust me. How many times you've been down walking down the steps all of a sudden you just realize it just gives out.
You know, some of us trip getting out of bed in the morning. Fuck's sake. Never mind doing a tope. What's up, Eric Tate? What's up, TJ? Dawn back in the house. Let's go. As we are creeping towards triple digits. Remember, folks, we want triple digits in this chat. We want to see it. Most of our friends are watching from home, so make sure you do the same and get us up to triple digits each and every night. We appreciate it for sure.
Right. Alexis and Chamber may not be coming to England in 2025. Canada has shown interest in hosting in it.
Fair enough. But didn't they announce that? No. What did they just announce? It's going to the UK. Not Chamber. It is Chamber. So you think it's changing? I don't think it's changing.
Well, that's what Alexis was saying. You Canadians have had enough wrestling shows. You just let other places have some.
We'll get a couple. We'll get at least one next year. But Chamber, I believe, is going to the UK, and I don't think that will change. I haven't heard anything to the contrary. Anthony, welcome back. Good to see you, folks. As we are about 2 minutes away from the start of the show. And again, we're looking forward to this one. A lot of questions need to be answered. Curious who kicks off the night tonight. But will it be Roman? Will it be Cody? Will it be KO? Will the fans, will the audience in general realize that KO is now a bad guy?
I would assume so. I mean, I would assume so. But I do like the idea, and I had questioned it before, of if they were going to turn Cody or turn KO heel, you know, what does he do? But if it works to where they're going to just pull Cody away from all of this bloodline storyline now of you've done enough with the Samoans, it's time to play with some other people. That makes sense to me. He needs somebody to go against. He needs somebody to sink his teeth into to actually have a legitimate feud and have somebody that you feel could actually threaten to take the belt off him.
100%. So again, very interesting. Thoughts on Rhea Ripley signing a 5-year deal doesn't shock me at all. They're going to lock her up long term. They're pretty happy with her performance, as most of us should be. No surprise here, Nick.
Yeah, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Moving on.
Big love for the boys. No silly names tonight. I'm tired. Boo. I'm not celebrating AEW dying a death on Tuesday. Silver X is up. Way cool to see the NXT playlist on TNA Plus. Thoughts? This relationship's been good, Nick.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I did see that he tagged us in it to where now on TNA Plus they have an NXT on TNA playlist and everything. As I have then right now, sir. Sorry.
I should be right behind you.
I'm trying to find a spot. I'm holding at forever.
TNA. I'm just catching up. I can't believe the ratings AEW was 329. Again, don't be too shocked. I know half is a lot. But it was Tuesday. It was at 9:00, and the show itself was booked horribly. Then, now,
waiting on forever. There we go. And see, my hands are up, so if I get ahead or anything, I'm not doing nothing.
Don't hit that refresh button, damn it.
I'm not hitting nothing. My hands.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing, ladies and
I can't do nothing around
here. Smackdown going live. Nick and I are synced up. If you want to sync up with us, by all means, as we're getting a beautiful sky view of Greenville, South Carolina. Should be a fun one tonight. Hopefully the crowd is ready to go. And again, we will be here all night long, including Rampage. And yes, George, we will be covering WrestleDream tomorrow night, starting at 6:30 p.m. We will be here for the 11+ matches and all the excitement from TK and fam.
Right. So there's still just the title match, the U.S. title match and the women's tag title match are still the only matches that they've really hyped up that they're announcing. So it's going to be interesting to see what we get through the rest of SmackDown.
Right. As we go back to Bad Blood in Atlanta on Saturday. Again, for my money, it was a good show, Nick. I was really happy with Bad Blood overall.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Christ, I think CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, when we do our end of the year, for life, he's shameless plug, that Hell in a Cell match might be up there and should be up there for match of the year candidate.
Right. It's hard to disagree with that at all. And again, just because of the meaning and everything they put into it, I thought the match was great. I thought the main event was good. And again, very intriguing. Even the Cody, like they just showed it, the salute to Roman, like, I got Jacob, I got this one.
Right.
But again, it left a lot of questions. What did The Rock mean? Where is this heading? What is next?
Yeah, and you did have the whole solo thing to where he's either whispering to the crowd or he's whispering to Jacob if it's all part of the plan.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy's back. I'm ready. Let's go. NXT was so good.
Is that what they just call the show now? Is NXT?
Last night, Sol Ruka, Wendy Chu, someone else. I mean, again, there's been a lot of sharing, Nick.
Yeah, well, you had me and then you lost me. You mentioned Sol Ruka, so you had me, and then you mentioned Wendy Chu and you lost me.
Right, I started big, but Spaz, thank you so much for the super chat. I think we read the other one. Oh yeah, you're tired. Chicago NXT outsold WrestleDream. 3 different TNA events outsold this week's Dynamite. How close are we to NXT TNA pay-per-view? We talked about this a lot. I found it interesting lately that Shawn Michaels came out and said, yeah, definitely a good idea, but we don't want to kind of blow our wad in the first act. Like we want to take our time.
Right? Hey, we're kicking it off with Jimmy Uso. They not the ones, my guy. But yeah, I do think like a worlds collide or anything. Yeah, it's amazing how he goes away for a little bit. You have Rikishi sit there and put out a tweet saying T's and P's for the guy, and all of a sudden he gets a big reaction. Yeah, why? Keish, you still haven't let us know. Why should we be concerned about Jimmy?
I think Keish is fucking with people for clicks. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, 100%. He knows something. He knows 10 news sources are gonna quote that.
Right, so he starts playing around. Oh, thoughts and prayers to Jimmy. When he knows he's coming back in a week.
Right. But you throw that out there, you get people talking about Jimmy Uso. Oh, what's wrong with Jimmy? What's going on with Jimmy? And then he turns around and shows up. Oh, hey, were you talking about Jimmy? I was talking about Jimmy.
Tonight, Jimmy versus Solo.
Yo.
Just announced, ladies and gentlemen. I'm surprised they didn't pre-announce this. Yeah, they could have advertised this all week. Jimmy versus Solo.
Yeah, they really should have with that one, to be honest. That's something that you should have. If you've got that, go with it.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he didn't, but man, the energy, the cheer, the love for Jimmy Uso. Uso. I'm feeling Usi. I still can't watch that clip and not laugh. I can't get through it without laughing. That you're not feeling Usi, Jay?
Is it the Canadian in you? Is it because of Sammy?
It may be. That clip breaks me every time to this day. I've seen it 300 times.
Right?
See,
for 6 months. Wow, it's really been that long since he's been out.
It's crazy. It's been 6 months, man.
It doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like a month. But Main event girl, this is not the one.
They go nuts.
Welcome
Jimmy
back.
mid-sentence has to stop for the crowd to give him a welcome back chant. Jimmy's showing a lot of swag, a lot of fucking. I know people kind of talk about Jimmy and Jay, not really sure what to make of them as singles, but man, the charisma, the energy, I got no problem with these guys doing what they do.
Oh yeah, no. Well, you saw them pretty much really hit their or start to hit their stride when they were doing the USO Penitentiary, and now Jay is drenched in charisma and everything like that right now. And Jimmy's always been a little bit second fiddle, but I think this has really helped Jimmy. And now that he's like the right hand man again of Roman Reigns and all of that, I think is going to do wonders.
Right. As Jimmy gritting his teeth, not happy with Solo being taken out by
yeah, you forget that they're brothers. This is all about big bro versus little bro. Big bang take little bang.
I'm gonna be doing what I've been doing my whole life, kicking your ass.
Oh,
interrupted. Boom. By the OTC. Let's go.
It's so interesting to see Roman in this, like, still see the tribal chief character as, you know, him more of a baby face and everything. Like we saw at Bad Blood, to where Cody's getting beat up and he's walking off, and Jimmy, no, come on, cuz we gotta go help him and everything. And they go back and help him. Like, and you see him and hug Jimmy when normally he'd be mushing him and shit like that.
That's how you walk through the door. Let's go. Get your fingers up. Pause.
Should be ATC for Aura Tribal Chief at this point.
Or is slowly becoming one of those fucking words that are
it's up there with dab and everything else.
Fucking hell. But again, Roman is a nice example. If done right, you don't have to change your character. You just have to change your actions. And the crowd, he became a babyface in his absence. And that's what you said. He still has no love for Cody. He doesn't have to go help Cody because the fans are cheering for him. He got to be true to who he is. And more wrestlers out there and wrestling companies out there need to take notice of the wrestlers have to be authentically them. If they change their behavior all the time, it's just bullshit theater. They might as well be Randy and Leahy.
Hey, 100%. It's almost like it fits with us too. Well, our shit is real, our shit is raw, our shit is all authentic. No bullshit theater over here. But I like this from 4-4 or over 9,000. It's over 9,000.
Let's go.
I have the reader too, so maybe I have to fill that all the time.
Nick, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the Tribal Council Unite.
But this is where I'm wondering, and you wondering what was going to kick off SmackDown. I think this is a great way to do it. And now, do we get like a Heyman or something that starts to really pull the strings together?
Well, I mean, again, I'd be very intrigued with if Solo Jimmy gets announced as the main event. Would really change my thought process. I don't know if they said it was going to be the main event. We were talking. If anybody out there wants to confirm it, but if the main event is Jimmy Solo, there's got to be something.
Right. And the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
The GOAT. Look, same old Roman puts his hand out. Where's my mic?
Right, but still, and Jimmy's still fine with it and all that, but they still acknowledge the tribal chief and still know, but folks, while you're throwing them ones up for the OTC, make sure you hit them buttons and make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Be a friend. Help the channel grow. 100% help, facilitate that algorithm.
That's it. Don't forget those little reaction buttons, folks. Give us some hearts. Give us some 100s. Let's go. Let's go. As OTC breaks out in South Carolina.
Right.
I see.
I'm surprised he didn't just start off with South Carolina. Acknowledge me.
Right there. Yeah, you kind of wound it up first.
Fair enough.
Join me. And there was a little bit of a boo.
Knowledge.
Hey.
Hey, that's clever. Yeah, that you let it linger. And now this is Roman's clearly a babyface. He switches.
Look at it. Look at Jimmy.
Acknowledge me, Jimmy.
Acknowledge Jim. Jim, what are you doing with that pie?
I like this though, because if you look at it still from if you did a excuse me, went down the wrong tube, pause. But if you did like a character analysis of Roman, he's gone from has to acknowledge himself and everything to now he's the baby face, and he realizes you can't rule with an iron fist. You have to rule through getting along.
That little spot, Jimmy kind of put out his hand like Roman did, like give me the mic, and Roman smiles and gives him the dap and walks away, and they both laugh. Like, shit. We need a horse brother. Big Jim. Oh, I'm not a wise man.
Not a wise man.
Yet.
Yeah,
that was cute.
I think it's a subtle tease. It's a subtle tease. You're baiting the hook. Baiting the hook.
Big Jim.
Everybody now needs to be big. I'm Big Nick. Now there's Big Jim. I'm competing with everybody.
We got Big Ben out there. Shout out.
Right, yeah, exactly. My gimmick just going everywhere.
MDB. I like this comparison. I mean, again, I feel like he's been on this vibe for a hot minute. But yeah, it's definitely that like I've taken over vibe and really coming to his own. He doesn't have Paul talking for him. He doing fine working this crowd, working them wicked.
That actually would be like if you saw did an actual like arc and like side by side. I think it would be pretty solid. That's a solid comparable.
Yeah, man.
Big is the new Lil. Yeah, you had Lil Wayne, you had Lil Durk, you had Lil this, Lil that. Now everybody's big. I'm going to be the OTC big. Is that what it needs to be?
Right. Roman says he doesn't like where they're at right now.
I told you.
Roman had such a different, again, the delivery, the comfortable delivery, Nick, that he's just at the inflection, everything just he's dialed right in. And I don't hate on him.
It all clicked.
Yeah.
This makes me just think, I guess I got my swagger back. Nah.
See, and again, audience participation now. When we put these ones up. Oh, Jimmy.
Oh, but we not though.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Anybody got any issues with the Bloodline storyline? Pay attention. The crowd's eating every drop up.
100%. Oh, I like the pun there. We are the ones. So 100%. If you're watching with the Wrestling for Life Network, you are the ones too as well. Exactly,
right?
KJ.
But Jimmy's right, Nick. No Ulafala, no title belt. We ain't the ones. We were the ones.
Fair enough. I mean, valid point.
Oh, they're yeeting. He said Jimmy.
I know one person.
Oh, there's one
get
person
help from.
Yeet.
Well, that's the thing. Do they go straight to Jay, or do you get Heyman to go between it?
I wonder if, I think Sammy's the big pop behind Jay, but no, he says Roman shoots it down.
It still could be that whole thing of look at what he's accomplished. He proved himself right versus Roman.
You'll forever be my tribal chief. The only one you got
notice
left.
how much gray Jimmy's gotten in his beard now, and it's starting to grow. What?
Right? But Jimmy says he's the only one left that actually acknowledges Roman. I'm the only one in the family that acknowledges you. That's a problem.
Ooh,
And walks
that's
out.
a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
And Roman has to think about it.
Well,
Layers. It's fucking
well,
layers.
still you get Roman does the little shit of like that little like twitch and everything. That's so if you're not looking and not paying attention, you miss it. But it's such a little je ne sais quoi to say with everything. As LA Knight walking backstage right now, so it looks like we're going right from that to the title match.
Wow. We ain't fucking around here tonight on SmackDown, folks. As up next, we are going to get LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. title. Jay also said that Roman is still his tribal chief. I like it. I like the storytelling. Nick's got the theory that maybe, we talked about Paul sewing this all back together. I mean, could it be, everyone's eating, everybody wants it. And you start piecing this together. You start piecing it together. You don't just hand it over. You tell the story.
Yeah, no, you need to weave the web here. You need to tie these threads together. Everything's become untangled, so you very much need to start pulling stuff back together. And I think Paul works great with that because he was always the one that would have the visitors pass on the phone that would, pop up, call Roman Reigns. And like you even mentioned before of how they would have the interaction between him and Jay and like, don't acknowledge it, but I'm glad you're doing good.
Yeah. Why is Jimmy versus Solo the main event? I don't know why.
Why isn't it? Why isn't it?
Why wouldn't it be?
It's coming off of Bad Blood. It's coming off of your biggest moment from Bad Blood and everything. And I think it's the return of Jimmy. So 100%, I think it makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm. Artist, I guess you weren't watching the same television we were watching. Maybe you were watching it on mute, but that was the furthest thing from flat, as far as a promo goes, as far as the story goes, as far as the fans being into it. The fans, as I said, while it was happening, were eating up every drip drop. So you might be at your house not feeling it, but the 10,000 strong in that building had no issue, and they were right there with it. That being described as flat would be like describing the Rockies as flat. Not a true statement.
Yeah, no, and that at all was not flat. And as still, they made it interesting of it ends with the deep cut that you wouldn't really think of. You saw Roman out there of does the pivot and acknowledge Jimmy Uso. And when we throw up the ones, we the ones, and very much goes the babyface angle with it. But you still end it with, I'm still the only one that acknowledges you, though, at this point, my guy.
Right. I'm predicting that Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns will appear on Raw this Monday. Be very intriguing. Be very intriguing if they did.
Could Jay Uso show up tonight in the main event then?
I don't know if Jay will show up tonight. I wonder if, I wonder if actually the Bloodline, especially coming off a loss, get a bit of the upper hand tonight. And then that's another moment for Jimmy to go like, we just got our ass whooped because we're outnumbered. We need to have this conversation. We need to put this back together.
Right.
Stubborn Roman thinks, I don't want help. I don't need the help. We'll see how tonight ends.
Biggest Bad Blood moment was Punk defeating Drew.
This is a big one. Absolutely.
I won't say it was the biggest, but it was up there, and it was definitely the match of the night. I will say that.
Yeah, and I mean, a testament to the good pay-per-view as far as multiple moments, multiple strong moments, multiple things to talk about coming out of the show, including what we just got here now. And again, people can say what they want, but nobody's done it at the level of the Bloodline for the last few years now. And again, when you can make a whole building stand up and throw those ones up, I mean, there's other wrestlers out there would die for that kind of fucking over.
Right. Well, then do you want to touch on this one? A Bloodline 2.0 segment. Can we get some new material? It must just be me. Well, I think you said it at the end there. It's just you. Honestly, at this point, it's just you.
But it's like any other set of movies you ever watch. Like, we don't go in a completely, like, we still know who the characters are. Like, fucking whatever we've watched as far as like, Avengers, Marvel, Batman, there's always some semblance to the story. Again, they were stripped down. They were beaten. They have a new. Jacob wasn't part of this story a year ago. Tongas weren't there a year ago. Now the Tongans and Jacob and Solo have taken over. Roman and all that got to come back together and make it happen. Again, that's new enough for me. That's storytelling for me. And I think this sentiment is why other companies don't book really good story, because this again. No, it's called storytelling. It's why you watch the shows that you watch. You want to know where the story goes. That's why you're in season 6, 7, 8 of your favorite show. That's my 100%.
Well, yeah, there's a reason there's extra seasons, and you get into season 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s and all of
that. I don't dislike Mello. I dislike that people think he's going to be anything more than a mid-carder. We shall see if that happens. I think there's a ceiling for Mello. It would be very curious what the future holds. But I got no problem with how he's booked, how he's highlighted right now coming out. His entrance is wicked.
Yeah, I don't. There might be an initial ceiling with him. Like, I think right now this is where he's pretty much at of mid card. Like, if he wins the title tonight, he's reached the top of the mountain for the most part right now. But eventually, I think will fold up there and move up the card.
Right. Again, I think he's got a lot of potential, and it's all how you book it, all how you present it. Again, Rey Mysterio was a guy that we never thought would be a world champ. Eddie Guerrero, and so on. And I'm not comparing Carmelo to any of those guys. I'm just saying we don't know what Carmelo's doing 2 years from now, but he's off to a good start. I do think that, again, traditionally, he's got an uphill battle if he's going to be a top guy. But, times change, and if he continues to develop and grow, there's no reason why they can't find something to make it work.
Grow is in the ring, not in stature.
Yeah, I think he's plateaued. As we get out night.
But folks, let us know who you're taking for this match, whether you're taking LA Knight or you're taking Carmelo Hayes. Let us know who you got, who's going to be leaving here tonight with a U.S. title. I think this clearly has to be LA Knight. It's now, is it a clean finish? Does Andrade get involved? Does an AJ get involved? What have you?
Right. Keep it coming, folks. Keep it coming. We're just under triple digits. Let's get it back up there. Mr. Twizzler's jacket.
Hey, well, he's normally out here in his Star-Lord Rocket Man attire. So
yeah.
It's been a minute since he's been out there in the all red, Slim Jim.
And again, they show the replay. Actually, they make it look like it's AJ's knee.
I know you see underneath of it, and that's the most
the ankle
I've seen of it, to where like the ankle actually folds, to where I'm like seeing that.
I don't know.
Maybe, but yeah.
You know me, I'm a consummate injury denier.
Cody sat there and showed up with a purple pack, and you're like, it's makeup.
He painted it on. Get the fuck out of here. But U.S. champ LA Knight, folks, get your votes in. Let us know who you're taking. As right now, 55% are leading towards LA Knight. But yeah, it should be a fun match either way. We'll find out what's up with AJ, but this will be interesting. I think Andrade is going to make an appearance here. I have to say, if you look at the show, Nick, we start with Jimmy. The place goes insane. During the Jimmy promo, Roman comes out. The place goes insane. Then that ends. We go to commercial. We come back. Carmelo comes out. Again, he's a heel right now. It is what it is. LA comes out. The crowd goes insane. Like, it's just segment after segment of people that are over as fuck.
This is when you build in, like we've talked about, layers. You develop things beneath things. You don't only focus on your main card, your main event scene, what have you. You develop beneath that. You have stories that run throughout the entire card.
Wait a minute. Who's Carmelo mouthing off to?
Watch it be like Trick or something.
LA Knight taking out Carmelo, but
Andrade!
Hey, El Idolo!
I thought it might have been Trick because of the connection Trick's played at South Carolina. But yeah, Andrade looking dapper, my guy. Looking dapper.
Right. Big elbow
as we cut commercial break. What the fuck?
What?
I randomly cut to commercial. Did you cut to commercial?
Yeah, Michael pitched to it.
That was just so random. I'm literally like, hey, they're talking to Andrade, and LA Knight's gonna toss him over here. Commercial. It's like, what? Why?
Right.
Why?
And I still think there's something afoot with AJ. I really do. I don't trust AJ yet. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I know people, again, check your sources, but I do know that a lot of people think he has a ligament injury. But I just saw that replay. I don't know. I'm not sold.
Yeah, I don't see too many people raising money for centers for us who can't read good. I see people raising money for centers for Meltzer who can't read good. So
Right.
I think that might be more of the case of Tuna might have, reached his expiration date.
Mm-hmm. Raw is going to have to adjust with the 2 hours at first, but Raw is on fire. Again, I saw a lot of people talk about Raw being rushed and da-da-da-da. No, they quicken the pace. And so to some, it feels different. It feels new. It feels not what we're used to. Quicker segments, nice transitions. But again, if that show was rushed or they were ill prepared for that show, Nick, I don't think we would have had a long Donnybrook. I don't think we would have had a long main event. It didn't feel like usually you start cutting things off at the end when things in the middle feel rushed. Overall, I thought it was fine. I don't think this company was shocked by 2 hours and not prepared to fit it all in. It's just a matter of us as audiences changing our perception.
Have other wrestling companies set the bar that people think that other companies don't know about things months in advance and everything? Right. Like this didn't just happen yesterday that they were going to go from 3 hours to 2 hours. So, oh shit, we've got to scrap an hour of this show. They knew in advance what was going to happen and everything, and especially that start of that show where it goes from Punk to Seth, from Seth to Jay, to Jay to in the match and everything, I think worked perfectly. And I want to see the Venn diagram of everyone that hated Raw being 3 hours and the same people that say Raw at 2 hours was rushed, because I feel like it's just two circles that overlap at this point.
Yeah, there's a big portion of that. And again, we use the word fickle at times. But again, it's just the show wasn't bad. I mean, again, no, it was just like, I don't know what more you want. Punk opens the show with something heartfelt. Seth interrupts. They plant that seed again. And then you instantly transition into Jay. I mean, like tonight, a great start to the show. Good energy in the building. I don't know.
To us, when we were live, the only low point, what have you, was the women's 10-woman tag match, which I guess some people might think that the women's division might suffer, but turn around next week on Monday Night Raw, we've got a women's tag match. That's one of the few matches already advertised for Monday Night Raw here. So I really think it's going to help with the pacing. Like, does anyone say SmackDown feels rushed?
No.
Why does Raw feel rushed at 2 hours, but SmackDown doesn't? Like, I don't. Yeah.
It's like Trips was like, oh my God, this is supposed to be longer. I wasn't ready. Just go. Like, no.
I only knew 3 months in advance. I didn't study for the final exam.
Right? Do we get a triple threat at Crown Jewel? Quite possible, Nick.
Triple threat or maybe a fatal four-way. Maybe. Hey, what do you say is Andrade out there on commentary? Well, not exactly on commentary. Beside commentary.
Christian, that's adorable, bud. Adorable. I heard the Boogeyman is backstage tonight. And he's coming to get you, Damien. Run.
He's coming to get you, Damien.
Wasn't Brandon Thurston reporting he saw on a yes. So this came out about a week ago. I can't confirm or deny. It could be AI, it could be fake, it could be bullshit. But apparently there was an email that went to the wrong place or the wrong person, and it confirmed what a lot of people have thought for a long time, that somehow, some way, Meltzer was getting some love from Tony Khan, which would explain the absolute blinded, ignorant bias that he presents. I believe it. I can't prove it, but I really do believe where there's smoke, there's fire on this one.
I'll tell you what I believe. I believe in Joe Hendry, but as LA Knight with a big elbow drop onto Carmelo Hayes, but yeah, no, the fucking writing was on the wall with that. Of that kind of files under the pile of no shit Sherlock.
So around 60% taking LA Knight, 22% saying nobody, and just over about 17% taking Carmelo Hayes in this one. Carmelo's not winning the belt this soon, and LA's not losing the belt this soon. I could see nobody winning before Carmelo.
Yeah. Well, LA Knight's kind of the figurehead of this division. It's super kick.
Oh, every draft has had more people go to Raw than SmackDown or NXT because of the 3 hours. I'm sure there is some shuffling backstage, but I did not affect it. I completely agree.
Right.
Oh,
We got roll through. Two go.
And it's going to be feeling. Wait until the people start bitching when SmackDown goes to 3 hours in 2025.
Right here, I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, I'm almost positive it will.
If Raw goes back to 3 hours on Netflix, so you're telling me we're going to get 8 hours of wrestling just from WWE alone a week?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
I think so. With
pop up elbow.
Nice.
1, 2 go.
Yeah, with one show on network television, it's a way to really supplement that extra hour that you lose. And again, you don't need it, but again, I know how money hungry and for all the reports, a lot of reports about it, the turn of the calendar, we'll see a 3-hour SmackDown on Friday nights, which is going to be very intriguing, and it will be very funny to watch the fan reaction to it.
I'll believe it when I see it because you're not retaining an audience to the 10 to 11 o'clock hour on a Friday night.
I don't think they agree with
especially in a demo. If we're gonna play demo and fucking demo god and numbers and all of that, no.
Oh, Potter by Carmelo.
2 go.
Yeah,
the U.S. titles surprisingly become like the workhorse division a bit of.
Nice block.
I think we'll go back to Raw 3 hours on Netflix probably, and we'll have Monday night or we'll have SmackDown stay at 2. I don't.
It's not,
justifying a 3-hour wrestling show right now is still kind of hard.
I don't like the 3-hour show, but I believe the reports are very valid. And from some of the sources, I don't doubt it for a second. You got to remember they had 4 hours on network TV. That changes.
1, 2.
But yeah, I got no doubt that that's definitely.
Yeah, but the money that they get from Netflix might change a narrative on that. BFT.
No, I don't think so.
1, 2, 3.
Spiked. LA Knight wins clean. Let's go. I loved it with 2 hours. It's really the fans who have to. Exactly. And again, because the pace picked up doesn't mean the show is rushed. It means we're not going to get 15-minute promo segments. We're going to get 8, 6, 5.
You mean I don't have time to go to the bathroom or do my DoorDash order or, paint the Mona Lisa and everything in the middle of this because of commercial breaks and some match that I don't give a shit? I have to watch 2 hours and actually care and pay attention to the rest of it? Right. That's what it was. It was 2 solid hours of pro wrestling.
Oh, Andrade leaning over, giving Carmelo the business. Turnaround's fair play. And I like it that it hasn't been like this call out of like, these guys are in a series of matches. It's just, they found another reason to fight. Match 6. Oh, another reason to fight. Let's go 7. Like, right? It feels more of just a thing of 2 guys that don't like each other, opposed to like, well, you're going to have 7 matches.
It feels more organic than preempted. Oh, Cody and Jimmy.
Oh, let's go. Big Jim.
I feel like Big Jim.
Should he not be the sponsor, like the face of Slim?
Yeah, if he's Big Jim, he's got to be Slim. No, he needs like his son to be Slim Jim or something.
Right. Snap into a Big Jim.
Pause all the way on that.
There you go.
Is that though your little bit of your transition, your send off of Cody? Thanks for your service to the Bloodline storyline. Have fun on your merry way onto something else beyond this.
Yep. Yeah, and even like calls it out like you were handling your own business. See ya. Boo Earns.
Right. Boo Earns. I don't miss those long 3 hours. Yeah, it's again, I want to see the Venn diagram of everybody that didn't like the 3 hour Raw.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Trust me. I'm glad you brought my attention to this because we got Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. 100%. Like, I'm actually excited for this match.
Yeah, let's go. Lash Legend in SmackDown. Yeah. And again, we saw it. I know people shit on like, oh, they made this 10-woman match because, I didn't love the match, let's be real. But they were like, oh, they threw it together because they're rushing the women's. No, they're trying to show off as many women's tag teams as they possibly can. Jade and Bianca have been defending this belt more than anybody that's held this belt. They've been doing the shirt, they've been doing the rounds. Unholy Unholy Union had it. They've been in exchange. Damage Control had it. They're trying to do this neat thing called build the division.
Yeah, 100%. As I'm in another commercial break here, but yeah, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty,
hang tight.
Jimmy basically told Cody, "Get your ass out of here." I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, respect, but you do you. We got to do us.
Yeah, well, and still, Cody's got a deal now with Kevin Owens, and what's going to be the repercussions from all of that? And that was so unexpected. I know I was the one that was out there of, oh, it's a smoke screen for when Randy, turns and everything like that. But then you have Kevin Owens beating him up in a parking lot in Atlanta.
Absolutely. I believe this is going to be a tryout for Lash. Yeah, and again, I think they've given them a lot of time, a lot of love, Nick, as far as Metaphor was a consistently used thing even after Noam got hurt. Lash has been around for a hot minute. I couldn't stand her in the beginning with her stupid talk show. She's come a long way.
I've been a fan since the jump, my guy.
Right.
And maybe you do get, Metaphor becomes more Meta 2 and everything to where you get Noam and Aura that kind of maybe stay and hang a little bit in NXT because Noam I believe is still injured and Aura's taking on Lexus this coming week. But I don't mind seeing Lash and Jakara move up and be involved in that tag division and having somebody like Lash that is of the same stature and everything like that that can compete with a Cora Jade or with a Jade Cargill. Too many Jades that I think 100% this could be their way into a Friday Night SmackDown permanent position.
Yeah. And again, you need quality. I said it before, and I still kind of stand by it. Right now in the WWE, the women's tag team division is a little more relevant than the men's on either show. So I think they're having better matches. I'm more intrigued by it now. The Bloodline have helped the tag team division a little. They're trying to give DIY a little bit of love, even though I don't know how well it's working. The Profits have made a resurgence since Bobby moved on. I think it's building. The War Raiders are coming back. MCMG's been teased. There's optimism there, but I think the women are ahead right now.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You've got rounds in the chamber when it comes to the men's division, but they're pulling the trigger when it comes to the women's. Like, think about it. Chance and Carter, former tag champs and everything like that, are now at this point almost an afterthought, irrelevant at this point, because now we actually have other tag teams and prominent tag teams involved here a bit.
Right. And again, it doesn't feel like before. Remember, it felt like getting the women's tag team champions were a bit of a punishment or, a demotion. And now you got Bianca and Jade who seem proud to be women's tag champions. They're united. They've been solid. They've been good. Now, eventually somebody's going to turn, we know. But right now they seem like a legitimate tag team, not just two singles. And you would argue,
and they were just the host of Bad Blood too, as well.
Yeah.
And I know we kind of thought that eventually they were going to get that split, especially when they lost it the first time, but they turned around and won it back. But yes, as they're mentioning 100% everything with the Red Cross, with everybody that's been affected by hurricane season so far already. So 100%, be a friend, tell a friend, help out where you can, say something nice. You never know, it might change somebody's life. All of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I specifically said better matches. I just felt like the division overall has been more relevant.
Strength of division.
Yeah, more than
like when
I
you're
mean,
like college football or something like that, of
yeah.
strength of schedule, shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. And if I did imply that, it wasn't fully my intent. Like we just had the triple threat tag match for the championship. What is this? Oh, I should have known.
Metaphor instead of metaphor, it's meta 2.
Meta 2.
I have never met a 4, definitely never met a 10, but I have met a 2. I really like them, and especially like as a tag team, they feel like they feel more like they've come in as a tag team than coming in as 2 singles competitors put together in a tag team.
Wait a minute.
Kevin.
KO in the building.
And I like this. He rolls in, he's in his sweats, he's in his civvies, he's all of that.
Oh, get out.
He's wearing a Dusty shirt too.
Yeah. They turned his
Kevin
mic
Owens was
off.
fined and suspended as they cut his mic in. He's grabbing the headset now from Cody.
Cody Rhodes turned on me. As here comes Cody.
This is so good though, because this feels authentic. This feels organic. This feels like if you were suspension of disbelief fully of if you got an issue with somebody, I'm so sorry, girls, but I got to do this right now. You jump in and okay, you take off my mic. Okay, I'm gonna grab the overhead speaker right now and just Cody Rhodes. It's like the guy getting
Randy being the voice of reason. I don't trust him.
No. Never trust a Viper. I trust a Canadian over I trust a Viper.
Oh no. What are you doing? Now Randy and KO bumping.
Well, and they've got elbow to Randy.
For
Randy fucking KO. He's looking at him like the disappointed dad, like I didn't want to have to do this.
Look what you made me do. I thought he was going to hit him with the RKO.
Look what you made me do. Sorry.
And again, the small little details, Nick. Like everyone got like really excited to see that women's tag match. So the crowd's excited and happy. And KO interrupting is a great way to bring more heat towards KO, what you're trying to build. I like this.
That and it makes it can't miss because he popped up in the middle of when you were starting this match. It wasn't an announced segment. It's not, folks, coming up next, we're going to hear from Kevin Owens as to why he went after Cody Rhodes. He just popped up and said, I'm sorry, girls, but I got to get this off my chest real quick.
It might be KO and Randy before it's KO and Cody.
Interessante. But I'm in another commercial break, sir.
Yeah. And I'm going to take a commercial break as well.
There you go. You got to recover from Randy socking in the face there. But KO, I almost called him KO. KJ's taking a pause for the cause. 100%. I am in commercial break. I will remind everybody we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. Often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated. We'll be back at it tomorrow, 100% for WrestleDream. Start right off at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Same time the 0 hour starts off. We'll be rolling through the whole card and then back at it for Monday Night Raw, NXT, and so on and so forth. So be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. But Kirby's saying, wow, I just realized SmackDown was 15 minutes down the road for me. Well, there you go. Maybe, just hitch your ride. Maybe see if you can sneak in last minute here. But it's Kevin being Kevin, says Maga. Yeah, I like the picture that's been going around of Cody's daughter giving, KO the side eye the whole time of just, she knew all along. I do think that this is really interesting. I thought it was going to be Randy that, turn on Cody that pulled him away from, the Bloodline storyline and actually made him focus on his championship versus, family situations. But with it being Kevin, it's something that Cody can sink his teeth into. It's something that you actually finally believe that there's somebody that could beat Cody Rhodes for the title. There's finally something that feels genuine, feels authentic, has layers to it, pulls the hooks in you, what have you, makes it feel like there's more than just a one-off match a bit here. Yeah, Lash and Jakar deserve better. Artist, my guy, I mean, they're getting a shot at the tag titles on SmackDown here. They got interrupted with the segment. I don't think it's too offensive or aggressive, what have you, that, Kevin Owens interrupted it, and I think it helps the show better as a whole. Of you make things feel organic, you make things feel spontaneous. Spontaneous, there we go. I got the word eventually. But yeah, I don't think there's really anything to complain with here. I mean, if you want to try and find something, if you want to explain your reasoning behind it, I'm all ears. But yeah, TJ saying it's so good. Christian, here's a joke for you. So, all right, Christian, you said the joke 3 times. It didn't land 3 times. So move along. Main event girl saying Randy Orton, sooner or later you're going to snap. Yeah, 100% of the Viper's eventually gonna be, the Viper. Vipers are gonna do eventually what Viper things do. And that's the way I feel it's gonna go. And my question at this point is, do we get Randy versus Cody at 41? Do we get the triple threat between Cody, Rock, Roman, which again, still I feel like we get robbed of the singles match? Or do we get like Randy versus Cena, end of an era? Is that Cena's last match or his last WrestleMania match, what have you? So it's going to be interesting where we go going forward with a lot of the people involved here, as I am back from commercial break. So again, I will remind everybody, let us know who you're taking in this match, whether you're taking Jakara Jackson and Last Legend, or whether you're taking Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, whether you're taking Meta 2 instead of Meta 4, or whether you're taking the big 2 instead of the big 3. Jade and Bianca for the win. Cherokee Jones. I'm a Phil's fan. I was rooting for the Royals. Tough year. Now those boring idiot teams. Who you calling boring idiot teams with? The Yankees. Honestly, my guy. As we got Chelsea and Piper at ringside too here. So again, we've got tag teams upon tag teams now within this division, and it almost feels fresh to an extent because they haven't put a ton of focus on the main tag title scene, especially for the women, in quite a bit. So it feels fresh, it feels new, it feels great that they've got multiple teams involved here. But yeah, who you calling idiot teams with the Yankees and the Mets? I'm still out here, trust me. I'm from New York. Wifey's from New Jersey, and she's a Mets fan. She grew up that way. I'm sorry I can't fix her, but yeah, I'm still waiting for a Subway series here. I haven't seen that since it was 2000s, like with Piazza and all that. So yeah. Now, do you guys think, and I'm asking in the chat, and I don't say guys, as that way, but I'm saying it just as a statement. But do y'all think that Jade and Bianca should have like a cohesive theme and entrance and everything like that? Or do you like that they come out separately to their each themes, their own entrances and everything like that? Should it be, to me, it still feels a bit like they're singles competitors as a tag team versus they're a tag team. A bit. Jade looks hot in pink. There you go, Mega. Yeah, as again, we've got matching attire. We got pink versus yellow. We got strawberry versus lemon. I was 9 years old during the Subway series. Well, there you go, Christian. I believe I was much older than that. Thank you for dating me. But yes, no, pause. That sounded awkward. But yeah. Oh yeah, so we're cutting backstage to Piper and Chelsea backstage with Jade and Bianca. So unfortunately, I feel like this is clearly going to set up now. Chelsea and Piper are going to get involved, and that's going to be the next feud, which I mean, I don't mind. I just really would like Jakara and Lash like in this tag division, like prominently a bit here. They work really well to me as a tag team, I feel, as they start off with a drop kick and Lash just throwing Jade in a ring post here. these four in the ring, visuals. Yeah, 100%. Them doing things. Absolutely. I ain't complaining about this match. Oh, stupid sex repain. How you doing? As Lash with a tag and a Jakara after the 2 count on Bianca. So again, folks, if you haven't let me know already, drop it in the chat. I don't know if there's a poll up, but let us know who you're taking, whether you're taking Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, or you're taking Bianca and Jade here. This match makes me want some cake and pink lemonade. There you go, MDB. I'm right there with you. Trust me. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be taking the pause for the cause after this here. I don't think Jade Bianca would last long enough for a theme entrance. Two type A personalities will not last together. Fair enough. Well, I mean, they've been Jade breaks it up, and they've been setting up the split. They set up the split, and then they pulled away from it. So, to me, I think it would almost work better if you have them feel more united, because if you keep them still having this divide of they're separate but equal type of shit, they're both, of the same team, but they still get their own entrances, what have you, it feels like you're setting up the Lash with the pump kick onto kicks Chelsea over the announce table. So I might be wrong with this. Is Bianca fighting out as Jakara eats a pump kick from Jade. Lash eats a little super kick. Oh, don't tell me this is going to be super quick. I wanted this to actually be a competitive match. I still don't know what they call that double team move, but it's still hella impressive as Jade hits all of 3 moves and gets the win. And I mean, now you do have a bit of a case with, Meta 2 or Meta 4 or what have you of, well, Chelsea kind of halfway got involved. But yeah, that I feel that should have been a much longer match. Well, I don't want to say much longer, but at least longer than what? That was like 2 minutes tops, I think, from bell to bell. But yeah, so Jade and Bianca retain as their women's tag team champions. Makes sense. It's 100% what we thought was going to happen. And now we've got at least a trios of teams, involved with this, what have you. But yeah, I'm right here with 1, 2, 3 kids saying match was too short. The thick rig, yeah, I don't mind that, actually. That's pretty solid. And speaking of thick rigs, we got Nia Jax with Tiffany Stratton walking backstage. How you doing? So we go from 6 beautiful beauties to 2 backstage here as we're in another commercial break, folks, right now. 444 saying pretty quick match. Like I said, I believe this was a tryout for Lash. Yeah, but normally you'd have, if it's a tryout, and I'm not trying to act like I'm some getting agent or something like that. I feel like you would have at least had it be something longer than that. Like, that felt really like you hit 2 spots, you hit 2 moves, you get distracted on the outside and eat a double team finisher. Like, that was quicker than a hiccup. Andre's Gaming saying marks. Yeah. Well, you're the one watching us and you're the one commenting. So who's the mark, my guy? But you do you, boo-boo. Appreciate you. 316 MMA. Hope we get Liv and Dom tonight. They're on Monday Night Raw, my guy. 316. I feel like you need to expound your wrestling enjoyment beyond just Liv and Dom a little bit. It's Tiffany Stratton for that Ariana Grande 10. You can have that ain't even what I'm mad at. To be fair, if Jade hit 3 moves on me, I'm out for the count. I'm going to be touche, tabernacle, I will say. But yeah. Didn't have a tag team entrance. Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. To me, I feel it would sell them more and make you buy into them more, like the cohesiveness, the bond, and everything like that, if they had some sort of a theme together or what have you. A tag team entrance versus they each have their own individual entrance is almost setting it up of, well, we can split it pretty amicably here a little bit. The zero articulation joints. What? It was a squash match. Yeah, very clearly, very clearly. I was wondering why your beard looks fresh. My boy got the fresh. I didn't know. I just shaved my head. That's what it is. I don't got any sort of fresh cut. I save money. I don't go to the barbers. I just clippers will do wonders. Again, hashtag, not sponsored. Where's Manscaped and all of that when you need them. We need at least, or what's it? Skull Shaver, the one that does the fake Pitbull ad and everything too. 100%. Me and KJ out here with the Stone Cold Steve Austin hairline. So, 100%. As I am in commercial break right now, folks. So I will remind everybody, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. We're back at it tomorrow for WrestleDream, starting right off at 0 hour. And then we're back at it on Monday for Monday Night Raw, Tuesday night NXT, or Wednesday night. We're back actually with a Dynamite. And did anyone else catch that? I guess in November around the election, we're going to get, the Wednesday Night Wars official, like a referee whistle of NXT is going to go toe-to-toe with Dynamite on a Wednesday, and it's going to have to move. Speaking of having to move, well, yes. Did you see this, sir?
Yes.
To where Wednesday and NXT, or where Dynamite and NXT are going to go toe-to-toe because of the election on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
then your excuses go out the fucking window, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll see what happens. Again, they're going to be on Wednesday night. So whatever excuses have been used over the last couple of days here, those excuses will apply. You can't move the goalpost on this one. And if you get dusted on your own night, on your own turf, you're going to have a lot of questions. You're definitely going to have a lot of questions.
Right. As now we've got Aldis, Cody, and Randy out by the tour bus.
You need to calm down. So Randy Orton now is the voice of reason.
He hears voices in his head, but he's the voice of reason.
Right.
That gives me hope. That gives me hope.
You should be Stone Cold Steve Austin for Halloween. That's adorable. I do agree with that. Should have been longer. I believe the match was made to have Lash look as strong, believable as possible. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's a good assessment overall.
Yeah, that match felt just a wee bit too fast for me, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that's because you're a fan of the two ladies, and we want them to.
The four ladies.
The four ladies, fair enough. But at the same time, Chelsea Piper still got a foothold, as being a part of the division. Again, it wasn't anything groundbreaking, but I don't mind. And I don't mind Jade and Bianca looking like absolute monsters, right? Like, who is going to take the belt off them? It's too young upstarts. Again, it kind of is what it is to an extent.
It is the call-ups from NXT a bit and everything, 100%. So I'll give you that. But I'm going to take a pause for the cause, sir, as I've got Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. I got to Tiffany my Tiffany real quick.
Right. Keep your eye on Orton. Yeah, I agree with that completely. I mean, you got to watch this man. And I don't trust him, Samantha. I don't. There could be troubles. Damn Tiff. Nia and Tiffany Stratton got bumped by Bailey. Jumped by Bailey. Not tonight. Peacemaker, Randy Orton. Yeah, it's got a vibe to it. It's got a vibe to it, AB. We'll see. Lash looked like a beast. She does. And again, how do you let her, how does she come in, look strong, but not win? Well, you have her get distracted. You have Chelsea and Piper kind of get their nose in the business. Maybe it sets up Lash and Jakara taking on Piper and Chelsea on NXT. Maybe. Again, I don't hate how they presented it overall. I don't. But Nia's in the ring, folks, and she's addressing Bailey. Fans don't seem overly happy. Tiffy time, indeed. Y'all think Tiffany Stratton's coat has insulation? Yeah, we'll check. We'll check. Yeah, man. Again, I think sometimes fans really kind of watch the wins and losses with a microscope, but being a show the way it is presented, again, I think Jakara and Lash have a bright future. And at the end of the day, it's not like they walked in and got rolled up. They got distracted, and then the champs took advantage, as they would if you were the top fighter, if you were the top team. You take advantage of a rookie and or a rookie team or a younger team, and you get that W pretty convincingly. So again, you can't have it both ways. Jax will not trust Tiffany. No, she shouldn't. Not here or at Crown. Oh, wait. She got Tiffy in a headlock. See, they're building, folks. With a macroscope. That's the way it should be done, my guy. Let's go. I've been happy with Jade. Again, a lot of people are like, oh, Jade went to the WWE and MJF's getting movie roles. And what's she getting? She instantly had a TV commercial. As here comes Naomi. Where's Anthony when we need him? Yeah. Like Screech. Yeah, like her own little Barbie. Here's my prediction for Crown Jewel. I predict Cody Rhodes' stubborn attitude towards Kevin Owens is going to cost him the match against Gunther. Quite possible, 100%. Again, and we can't trust Randy. This isn't just about Kevin Owens. Now, Kevin Owens still contesting. Cody turned on him, and oh, wow. Naomi chucking insults already. You can't win without your little sidekick. Yeah. Naomi got that pink glow on tonight, for sure. Let's go. Are we going to get Naomi versus Tiffany? Or Nia? Nia looks ready to go. More ready than Tiff. Naomi was watching. It took two people. All right. What do you think, folks? What do you think? Get in that chat. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. As this rolls on, it's moving at a fast clip. As we hit the top of the second hour. I don't need nobody to help me beat you. Naomi getting a title shot by the looks of it. Now, keep in mind, Nia's still got to fight Liv Morgan come Crown Jewel. Which it seems like a lopsided one on paper. She may need all the Raquel for that one. What up, Vance? How you doing? Yep, I called it. Interesting. Watch me. Let's go. Here comes a referee. And here comes Liv Morgan. I like it. Maybe Tiff catches on him, Liv. Bro. I'm not going to read it. It just is what it is. And facts are the facts. Right. Yeah, wigs and wrestling don't really go hand in hand. Yeah, I like it. Liv poking fun at Nia. There you go. Yeah, she could. As Nia pushes down Naomi. There you go. We assume the answer is yes to that as the champion. Sad to see Rodriguez join that sorry duo. Actually, George, it's perfect. We called it. We predicted it. It's perfect. Heel Rodriguez is so much better than babyface Rodriguez. Remember the smiley, I'm a hostage, smiling for no reason. The back attack is here, Jack. This is so much better. And it works. It works so well. So I'm all for it. She could. Did Liv Morgan get permission? Got that one. Which would be a crappy idea. Vance, Tiffy couldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I still think they're building. You saw it tonight. Tiffy gets the headlock. Tiffy gets like the noogie treatment. Tiffy gets picked on by Nia. We're going to build this to a fever pitch. Will it be Crown Jewel? Maybe. Do I think so? Probably not right now as I'm sitting here. Tiffy could cash in it before Crown Jewel and go one-on-one to Liv. I don't know how. I don't think so. Tiffany could cash in the USA in general. Should. I mean, again, I'm okay with cool things happening on the international shows, Vance. I don't think title changes or cash-ins have to be saved for the US market, especially nowadays with the international crowds being so excited to be there. I mean, I'm okay with giving them something. Do I think the cash-in's going to happen at Crown Jewel? I don't. Liv and Dom are in the building. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Would you save Alexa Bliss' return for the Royal Rumble beginning of 2025? Potentially. Again, it doesn't seem like they're in any rush. She has alluded to making a comeback sooner than later. But yeah, I mean, whenever she shows up, it's going to be a big deal. So I'm very curious when they pull that off. Just remember, there's a lot of time between now and Rumble. So we're going to get some returns, and Alexa might be one of them that return prior to the Rumble. Nick Aldis is going to say when he's in doubt, blame Adam Pearce. Facts. Here's an idea for Raw. Before the election day, we should have a presidential debate between Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. Well, you let them know, Christian. See what's up. I say we leave the cash-ins and title changes for domestic crowd. There you go. There you go. America, give it to us. Again, Saudi shows not usually known for anything overly substantial. So I don't expect it. I've seen, we've seen a lot of these Saudi shows. Now, I mean, different. If you're at a Clash of the Castle or you're in France or you want to do something cool in one of those shows, fine. You had money in the bank in Toronto this year, fine. But yeah, I mean, make the show matter. Free Ricky Starks. I said online today, hashtag free Ricky, and someone told me to shut up because he's getting paid. But come on, let's be real. Poor Ricky's upset. Perfectly healthy, perfectly ready to go, perfectly in shape. He wants to fight. He wants to wrestle. He's being held hostage. Free Ricky. Raquel Rodriguez, I like her as a heel. She's so much better as a heel. And playing heavy to a little Liv, it allows her to have validity against Rhea Ripley or a Nia Jax, because you think when you see it on paper or you see the two women stand side by side, you think, how is Liv going to win? Well, now she has an X factor. Now she has Raquel. As we are coming out of commercial break, Liv Morgan is Wrestler of the Year. Maybe not. Maybe not. Is when do you see Logan Paul return? Apparently, we're not. I don't know this for certain. I know the rumor is that we're probably not going to see him until 2025. But when he does return, it will be on a more full-time basis. So it'll be very interesting to see what Logan Paul can do as a full-time performer. It'll be very interesting if he can carry on. But I don't see any reason why he can't. As Naomi, Nia Jax, I guess I'll throw this up. That sounded wrong. Everybody at ringside. But get your votes in, folks. Who's going to win this one, and why is it Nia Jax? Sorry, Anthony. I would argue that she's been a babyface for quite a while. Ever since her feud with Damage Control, she's been very face. I wouldn't think she's semi-babyface. I think she's been outright face. And, we'll see what she does now after losing again to Nia. That's the issue with all the AEW marks. They think the money supersedes the legacy of your craft. They want all their wrestlers to be, that's the problem, right? And again, Ben Simmons only gets you so far at the end of the day, right? You need more than that. And again, if you have a chance to make a lucrative living, I won't knock you for it. But at the end of the day, there's got to be substance behind it. And we've seen a lot of people take that money and run, but there's more value out there in a higher talent if you use it correctly. Nia Jax wins. Is Bailey coming back? Got that one. Roxanne Perez has had a better year than Liv Morgan. Prove me wrong. Roxanne Perez has had an outstanding year. And Nia crushing Naomi. Going for the pin. Got Nia Jax for the win. I feel sorry for Michael Cole trying to call the match while dealing with Chelsea Green trash odor. There you go. Chelsea always causing trouble. Tiffy time cashing in on Nia. I agree. Just when. And we continue to see the treatment of Tiffany. So I think more and more the fans are going to cheer for it. Yeah, I don't know about that. Liv's had a really good year, but I don't know if we can get that carried away. Naomi for the win. Exactly. Ben Simmons is a former prominent all-star who fell off the face of the earth because he'd rather get paid than produce. That's it. And again, especially in those. Oh wait, Naomi slamming Nia face first. You see it all the time. And again, we've talked about other people who've cashed in and brought no value to the company. Tony can spend the money as he wants, but a guy like Ricky Starks is going to sell more tickets. Ricky Starks is going to sell more merch if marketed properly, if used properly. Just like Ben Simmons, you can give him all the money. You can give all the wrong people the money. It's not going to, it doesn't necessarily result in championships, does it? Funny enough, that's always the guy that's got a pulled hammy or a sprained ankle when time gets tough. Naomi drop kick into the pole. I think Roxanne Perez is at a better 24 than Liv. I think overall, yeah. When does Big E return? I don't know if he ever returns. That's always going to be a question mark, Mega. I mean, again, what he's dealing with is a big thing. He's got himself, no pun intended, but he's got himself back into a place where he can, the quality of life is priority one. Now we'll see how much he develops and how much he recoups and rehabs and gets into a comfortable place. The problem with his injury is it doesn't take much to re-injure himself. So he's got to be very cautious. As we head back into commercial break, Spanish Rachel kind of looks good as a heel. She got a vibe. She's part of Judgment Day. Kind of went with that black, that gothy look. But again, I think the pairing of Rachel, thank you, Raquel and Liv is perfect. Perfect. I think the New Day storyline brings back Big E. It could, but we don't know where he's at, Damien. That's the thing. Who's Ben Simmons? Good question. So KJ, it's a race to the bottom. Who wins, Leafs or Sabres? Leafs won last night. They'll be fine. Hold on tight. The Leafs are doing all right, but I'm not worried about the regular season. It's the playoffs, Ken. And Buffalo hasn't sniffed the playoffs in a hot minute, so we'll see what's up. Plus, Buffalo sucks. Bills suck. Sabres suck. What else comes out of Buffalo? None of them are good. If WrestleDream isn't successful on Saturday, that means Tony Khan booking Libido is about to hit the expiration date. I don't think so. That's what I've come to terms with doing what we do here. I believe that it doesn't matter how bad the shows are. It doesn't matter how bad we criticize it. As long as that niche pocket tribe and the Meltzers of the world continue to praise Tony Khan, it doesn't matter what the general public thinks. It doesn't matter how bad the sales are. It doesn't matter what the ratings are. As long as he's happy, he's got all the money in the world, he's just going to keep pissing it down the toilet. He's going to brag like he's doing big things and he's really competing. But at the end of the day, I don't believe it. I don't see it. I don't agree with it. Again, we've seen it time and time again, and we've said it a million times, Christian. Is this the breaking point? Nope, it gets worse. Is this the breaking point? Nope, it gets worse. Is this the breaking point? Nope, gets worse. Is he in Australia now? No, he's back. He's there, right? I now have a Tiffany Stratton will have a failed cash in. I don't think it's going to be a fail. I really don't. So Roman says no to Yeet, but I think Jay gets involved by the bloodline costing Yeet the IC belt. My thoughts. I don't know about costing him the IC belt, but I do think that Roman's got to soften, right? So right now, Roman's done okay against the new bloodline. He won at Bad Blood. He kicked their ass before Bad Blood. The pendulum's got to swing the other way. You got to back Roman into a corner. Speaking of backing into a corner.
Right. And swinging other ways. Pause for the cause with that one. Yeah. But
yeah,
I did hear you talk about Ben Simmons and contracts and all of that. And AEW seems like it's a roster full of Deshaun Watsons at this point. Of
that's
overpaid, overvalued, and under-deliver 100%. And I'm looking at you, Mercedes. I'm looking at you, Okada, etc.
Yep. Yo, I'm from Toronto. We're the king of fucking the Maple Leafs are the kings of signing guys, giving them too much money 2 years past their prime who come in and do nothing. So I get it. And again, you can talk about a lot of the wrestlers. Yeah, they brag about their paychecks, but what are they bringing to the table? What are they doing to help the cause? They don't give a fuck that the building's empty. They're collecting. They're at home counting their money when, you can count the full sections at a show with one hand. It's crazy.
1 little, 2 little, 3 little smart fan, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little smart fan.
Did you see the interview? Yeah, I did. And I read some transcripts of it. Ricky again is adamant of, I don't know why I'm not being booked. I'm ready to go. Life is good. I don't fucking get it. Naomi coming off the top. Big crossbody. Pretty good match here.
I'm taking Naomi still for this match. It's a non-title match. Yeah, I still think you get Naomi with a win here. You establish her as a threat. I think she gets the win. You start to plant the seed more of the dysfunction between Tiffany and Nia a bit.
Well, we did have Tiffany get ragdolled. 60% are going with Nia. I'm going with Nia, especially with Liv sitting at ringside unless Liv somehow gets involved. But I think that, people are going to be mad if Naomi loses again.
Namely Anthony. Anthony. And, well, Christ, even with the Judgment Day being there, you could have them get involved and they start to set the, tension between Liv and Nia going into Crown Jewel.
Yeah, 100%. I truly believe that Nia has been doing an amazing job since returning. Her in-ring work has stepped up her ability to make her opponent look good while she's looking dominant. You can tell she's been in the lab. 100%. 100%. People, I find Nia is a great example of people can't let go of the past. So in the past, maybe had some issues. She was a little bit heavier on her feet, a little clunkier. She broke Becky's nose. We get it.
She's going up for the bonsai, but Raquel causes the distraction as Liv is hitting her with the briefcase. Naomi
gets it, bro.
1, 2, 3.
Naomi gets it. There you go.
Yeah. And bro,
look at that stack. She literally got her legs in the air. That's
I was gonna say that was an interesting one. She got her legs out there kicking.
She got her legs in the fucking air.
When you're with someone that's bigger than you, when you got your legs out there kicking, you're trying to show the force, you're trying to thrust and everything.
Bro, I just got a mental picture.
Gravity is betraying you. Physics is a fickle bitch.
When you just trying to drill the China through that lover.
Right. I'm trying to reach bottom here somehow.
I'm gonna chirp. Yeah. There you go, Anthony in the house. Turn your camera on.
I'm gonna go twerk in private. Please do that in private, sir. Respectfully.
Anthony just turned on his glow lights.
And this is my brutality as Rhea shows up and is just wailing away on Raquel. Now a little bit. It gets a little hard because they're both wearing black leather. They both have the dark hair and everything. It's just like one has tattoos and one doesn't.
Oh, I mean, one.
And then Liv just stumbles into Nia. So this is you're in between. Rhea boots Nia. Get the fuck out. That's my problem.
I like this. How long before the first mark goes, well, so much for the draft?
Looking at you, sir. How many times have you brought the
I'm the defender of the draft. The draft's okay. We're good. WWE is absolutely cooking. Happy birthday, Rhea. Absolutely. Happy birthday, TK.
No, we can't do
I bet that cake had a whole lot of icing on it.
Figure your shit out.
The man can enjoy a birthday. I'm sure it was a good one.
Yeah, full of powder. Man went snowscaping, went skiing somehow.
You're not talking about Backstage, are you?
No. But yeah, no, that was solid. And you even have you now have the layers that you have the tie-ins of Rhea still got to deal with Liv, but Liv's now tied up with Nia because Crown Jewel's the thing.
Yeah. Why would they have Rhea Ripley on the show? She's not even from SmackDown. You don't even work here. You don't go here, bro.
You don't even go here.
But Carmelo complaining to Nick.
And not me, Aldous.
Oh, wait. Are they going to run it back number 7 for a number 1 contender?
Oh.
Don't miss. Nicolas Escobar. Nicolas Andrade Jr. with Elektra Lopez.
Yeah, but now at this point, can we all admit Andrade is now past,
He's got it back. He had to go back.
He's hit the back, but he's established himself.
Yeah, he's no longer doing like the promos in the stairwells and trying to buy little wrestlers. He's back to being El Idolo. He feels present and prominent.
And punching Sammy Guevara in the face and all that.
Yeah. If I was Ray Phoenix, I'd run in that building and drop kick someone quick.
Fuck you, Tony.
Yeah, out of nowhere, just Hurricane Rana Tony at Gorilla.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You don't have to. If you hit someone, you'll just get suspended with pay. You just have to yell in Tony's presence. So just start. I'm talking about. I declare bankruptcy.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Did we set up a tag match? Oh, Solo. What is he doing with that Ulafala? Folks, stroke your Ulafala responsibly, unlike Solo Sikoa.
Right. So did they just say Legato's got to fight a tag team, and if they beat that tag team, they will get a title shot? However, we don't know who that tag team might be.
Well, that's why I saw everybody of Motor City, Motor City, Motor City, Motor City. That's your moment.
They will acknowledge me. That's good, man.
Yeah, he's hit his stride. I've got static and everything as we're getting again the new Fiend character that's going to be in 2K24.
Yeah. Solo, MCMG. I agree. Buddy, let's be real. I mean, we're being a little obsessive on this one. Rhea Ripley.
16. You want to talk about toxic? Like 100%. We're pulling you to the sidebar. Come on,
come here, bro.
Right, come over here. I like you. I appreciate you. I'm glad that you're here. There are other things in wrestling outside of Liv. Rhea's fan base isn't toxic just because you really like Liv.
There's a lot of Liv simps that are pretty toxic. But if you think Rhea's bad, if you think Liv's bad, go online and post. Hey, Anthony, what it's like when you post something about Mercedes Moné.
CE no. CE no. CE no.
My boy Anthony, the
TikTok out there having to sit there and police this man's comments of saying, "Are you sure you want to do this?"
There you go.
You might be having to shut it down because of bullying. Sorry.
Right, not a problem. Rumor has it MCMG will debut October 25th at Barclays. Ooh. We'll see. MCMG. Everyone keeps saying it.
Right. If we just say it loud enough, it's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, these teasers have been interesting.
MDB, bro, I'm flabbergasted.
But, ladies
and gentlemen, good word that I don't use enough in my vocabulary.
Right. No, flabbergasted. Apparently, I hate women for talking about Mercedes Moné. I mean, again, the biggest advocate of women's wrestling that I hang around with. And he's like, I don't think Mercedes is doing good. They're like, fucking die, women hater.
She's got to be up there for like worst wrestler of the year, like something like there's got to like it's so bad. It's
We're gonna
just
nominate her for the Jericho Award.
doing shit. Well, doesn't he have to win it like 3 times before it can be his award or something like that? But it's very close. But yeah, it's just you can be critical of things and not like judgmental. I guess that's the best way to put it. Like it's we're critiquing on what you're presenting. It's not because I hate you as a person. It's no, the performance you present and everything is garbage. So I'm going to say it's garbage.
Right. I'm gonna go ahead and be unpopular here. Naomi just won the title in the ring full of like 10 women more interesting than her. She didn't win the title though.
Right. I'm going to be unpopular and say your comments wrong because she didn't win the title.
I can't wait for the 4 lifeies. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one this time. Remember, folks, if you want to see what we thought halfway through the year, our mid-year awards are up, and we will be here late this year, early next year with the Golden KJs, with the 4 lifeies. Yeah, we're gonna have a laugh with this one. Shit.
Yeah, we had the midlifeies. Now we're gonna have the 4 lifeies again for it's now 2nd or 3rd annual. Might be 3rd annual.
This would be 3.
3.
Dos,
amigo, trios.
Yeah. There we go. That's how people are trained to think, especially in politics. Yeah, I mean that's the biggest problem with social media, right? Is it just feeds you in a way that only just strengthens the opinions you already have. Doesn't really help you expand your horizons.
This is going to be me going on a tangent and everything.
Oh, here we go.
But I digress. If you allow me to regale, social media 100% allows you to not think. And that's 100% is something that lacks in this day and age. And one thing that I think we all pride ourselves on is we actually think. We go beyond just what we see on social media. I barely even have time trust what I see with my eyes, what have you. Of actually use thought, actually use cognitive fucking connectivity, all of that. Sit there and actually think behind things more than just as you scroll past it. As we're getting another replay of
if anybody was watching and saw my face, I was like, where's that dinging coming from? I let the doorbell
are done. Next week. So 100% at this point, Motor City Machine Guns next week.
Let's go. Yeah, I think they're gonna fight Legato.
And that's a hell of a way to start off. You're gonna have, Walking Wild and all of that, taking on really Saban and Alex Shelley.
This time with this new vignette, they made sure we knew it was Detroit. They made sure we knew. There was no doubt. Even if you had a little doubt before of like, that kind of looks like Detroit at night. This time they highlighted a few things. We're like, that's 8 Mile. We're good. Let's go.
Yeah, they included Eminem. They did the dun, Mom Spaghetti, all of that. They had the Lions playing. They had the Tigers playing. They made sure you knew it was Detroit. They had the Red Wings logo, everything.
Right, bro. Step away from the bong. Step away from the bong. I'm sure it's a Liv Morgan shaped bong. Step away.
It's got a mullet on it, like Dom Mysterio's got a mustache.
As we go back to the race,
honestly, at this point, do you step away or do you lean in? Like, lean in. Maybe one more might correct that shit.
Right.
Science, bitch.
Yeah, there's got to be at least 50 people more deserving of worse. Well, okay, I'm going to be a monster pop when they come out. 100%. Let's go. It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be interesting because if it's not, that's when it's gonna get the discussion is gonna get there. I don't think it will.
Who could it be if it's not them?
No. I'm not saying that it won't be Motor City. I'm saying if the pop for them isn't huge. I have the best reactions, the biggest reactions. I was so great. I did great numbers in Detroit. That if that isn't the reaction, the response, then the discourse, the discussion happens.
We got a new team coming in next week. Sorry. We
Yeah,
got
well,
Profits and DIY arguing with Aldis about a title shot, and Aldis said, you guys had your shot. We got a new team coming aboard.
but
The
I like
one
this
thing they
though of
did good-
you get them going at it here, and
Mhm.
I think this needs to happen. Street Profits needs to win. They look, honestly, if you were to sit there and know nothing about any of these teams, and you show me the Street Profits with Regeneration X, I'm taking the Street Profits to win this.
Yo, Aldis is distracted. What is Aldis looking at?
KO's just jumping. He's jumping Randy.
KO on a fucking terror tonight. What is
it with you Canadians?
I told you, we're polite to a point.
It's deceptive. You're deceptively polite.
When we snap, run.
But Kevin Owens out here stomping out Randy Orton too as well. So Kevin Owens just on a tear, and I like that too. It's not any coming up next. Kevin Owens speaks his mind about why he's mad at Cody Rhodes. It's
Bobby Roode.
Just takes over.
Bobby Roode in the building.
Hey,
but listen,
Canadians.
Some people commented, "Oh, they disrespected Lash," and because what's more important for the show right now? Lash Legend and Jakara, who's just making their debut and trying to come up, and they're a bit of, is what it is, or a KO storyline that feels authentic, feels off the cuff. They're cutting off his mic. I'm sorry, but KO and Cody take precedence over your women's tag team division to an extent. Tough shit.
Yeah, world title versus women's tag title. As I've got Solo Sikoa coming out right now. So we're down to the main event already. We got a half hour for the main event.
Time flying, folks. And I'll throw this one out here. This one should be fun. And with this much time on the clock, I wonder what's going to happen.
Bro, with this 8K camera, I swear to God, I don't know if it's the vitamins or what have you. I was like, when did they switch out Solo for 2K characters? Yeah. I literally thought I was watching 2K24.
Well, it was like earlier with that metaphor entrance. The vitamins were just triggering left, right, and center.
Right. But
see, Michael Cole, this is where you get good commentary. Michael Cole planting the seeds. Strength in numbers. What does Roman need? Numbers. What does Solo have? Numbers. What does Roman not want to do? Go get numbers. What is Roman going to have to do? Find some fucking numbers.
Right. And this is where I still think we end up getting. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
Jimmy Uso for the win. Creatively, they've continued to pivot. Love to see it. Absolutely. And again, I know some people earlier tonight of like, oh, we're so tired of this. There's nothing again, the crowd is on their feet booing Solo and crew. The crowd is on their feet chanting their brains out for Jimmy, chanting their brains out for Roman. You got to give credit. You got to see what's right in front of your eyes, guys. And your personal feelings might not be, this isn't for me. We get that. But just because it's not for you doesn't mean it's shit.
Right. Well, I mean, we'll talk about that with AEW. Sometimes that is just shit. When the mass goes against you on that. But it's still the fact that WWE's aware of discourse and still takes that into consideration, especially because it's still a weekly running live show and everything. So they constantly are aware and listen to the feedback of, hey, they're kind of going with this, so we can play with this. They're going with that, so maybe let's look at this. It's super interesting, and it's something I wish I'll say other wrestling promotions did. I'm not saying you have to use stuff like that as gospel, because trust me, we know wrestling fans are going to just say whatever they want to see happen. They're going to cheer for their favorites. They're going to boo for who they hate and everything like that. But to still know when well enough isn't getting over, when well enough isn't going well, and knowing how to pivot. Like right now, Triple H has nailed like the AI crossover, I feel. The man knows how to pivot and still get to the lane. Right.
Kevin Owens is running amok, not giving a fuck. Smoking dope in a cab. I'll stab you with the sharpest knife I can grab. Kevin Owens beating up everybody. Kevin Owens is on a fucking tear tonight. And they did it so well.
Asking for his maple syrup.
What? Right. But Nick said it best. He is not a part of the show. He's just fucking running through the show. He's taking out his own personal agenda. He's not scheduled to be here. It's not a segment. He's just fucking everything up. It's beautiful.
It feels a la like when Punk would show up, when Punk would come out there, and I'm not saying it's anywhere equivalent to the pipe bomb, but around that same style of I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm going to interject myself.
Yeah. Metaphor got their stuff in, which makes sense when and champs, and it leaves you wanting more. You see them, Willie, and you're like, wow, these ladies are good. The match ends quick, and you're like, all right, well, we'll see them again. Or maybe I'll tune in on Tuesday to see what they're up to. Maybe it sets up something between Chelsea, Niven, and Jakara and Lash. I have no problem with how that all played out.
Right.
Cody Rhodes teams up with Romans. Why you got to beat up? What?
I feel like there's a sentence in there. I just don't know where it is.
Right. Who predicts Kevin Owens will hit the stunner on Nick Aldis to disrespect his authority? Right now, Kevin Owens is beating up everybody. Nick Aldis could get him one if he's not careful.
And Canada 316 says, if you just go full Canadian Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right. Triple H got that Giannis Euro step down to a T.
Yeah, exactly. Euro step king, my guy.
Right. Dun, dun, dun. Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. Yeah, those are. Stay tuned. I don't know if what one we get first. I think, well, obviously the crowd's chanting for Yeet, so we'll see if Jey comes first, and then who. I think Sami's going to get a gigantic pop.
I still think you get to where it's Jey, it's Jimmy, it's Roman, it's Heyman, and you're like, but wait, we kind of need one more.
Yeah.
You're gonna set that up as the Hail Mary upon Hail Marys, the honorary Oos, and that's gonna fully put the linchpin in that they're babyface, that they're the guys you need to cheer for.
Enough out of you, knee pads. Go get your knee pads. Sami's good. People are gonna go nuts when Sami comes through when Sami comes out to help this. If he does, it's gonna be huge. There were
people thinking he was gonna win the world title on Monday Night Raw because of Goldberg. So let's not sit there and act like it's not par for the course that he could be involved in the Bloodline story.
And people wanted it. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, he's the lovable. Sami Zayn is what Bryan Danielson was.
Kind of, yeah. In the same idea, right? The underdog from the underground, and it still reigns true.
Right.
I don't like that they put like the rinks on the NHL belt. Like in the background of the logo, there's like part of the rink. It just, to me, it stands out as odd. I get it, but I don't love it.
Oh, sorry, I thought you just said you did like it. I was about to say, a man's about to show up, on Saturday with the.
They got to win the cup. They got to win the cup. So probably not.
I was gonna say, I'm right there with you.
Right.
Yeah, if they put our stadium behind it, it'd have to be a whole new stadium by the end of that. So fuck.
As they are showing the Florida Panthers championship celebration, including the WWE title. How do we feel? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how do we feel with Michael Cole and Corey compared to Barrett and Tessitore? I know Tessitore's got a lot of love, but yeah, how do we feel with this pair? This pair
is like an old pair of fucking shoes. It fits, it works. Michael Cole is dialed in at a different level. It feels like the Vince McMahon departure took a fucking weight off his chest. And again, I just complimented him, like, he helps tell the story. He does his job. It is the job of the commentator not just to report what he sees, but to convey the emotion that the fans are expected to feel, to point out the details that they're trying to show us, right? To talk about the necessary things to move a story in the eyes of the audience. I think Michael Cole's doing phenomenal. Corey's great. And that's not taking, I think the Raw team's fine. They don't bother me.
No, fair enough. I was asking more because like the Raw team gets talked about because of Tessitore being new and everything like that. Meanwhile, Michael Cole and Corey Graves work as the great orators that you said of. They're the narrators, they're the chorus amongst the story. They paint the picture that's being told.
No, shut up, JV. That didn't happen. That'd be amazing. Now I gotta listen. I like this new Kevin Owens. I love it. Main event girl, I'm with you all the way, man. This is the best KO. I prefer KO as a heel. I prefer KO being this KO. This is fun. This is good. It's good for him. I'm good with it.
You keep saying him and all of that, like you're on the trial, and I did not do it, Your Honor, but he did it. No, I think it's your doppelganger there. Your lookalike. Your clone there, Kevin Owens.
Hell in a Cell music video. Still getting love for that Hell in the Cell match. As the Bloodline waits in the ring for their opponent, as Jimmy Uso returns, and we're taking votes. I guess I should have put nobody as an option, but Jimmy 62%. I don't think Jimmy wins tonight.
I'm torn. It's Jimmy's first match back solo, and then lost that bad blood, so you need to get that lick back.
It feels squashish. It feels like there's a squash in the air.
Oh no, it does. It does not feel like that. It feels like, if anything, you more get a kerfuffle of you get someone show up. Like I said, you get a Roman gets involved, a Heyman gets involved, what have you. You maybe even get a Jey Uso pops out here, something like that. We've already seen Raw show up and get involved in here, so maybe Jay tagged along, but I don't think squash is in this.
Yeah, no, I meant more of as a fucking fuck finish. I shouldn't have said squash. I misspoke.
Fair enough. JB letting us know that we missed it when Corey was talking about the Penguins. Yeah, as you know, both of us, not from Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania, are very akin to Penguins talk. But yeah. How you feeling as a Leafs fan so far, sir?
Not bad. 1-1 and 1-0 loss to Montreal sucks because it's Montreal and the fact that we couldn't score. First time we were shut out in 3 years, for the record. Anybody out there keeping track? But then we put a beating on New Jersey. Pittsburgh's going to be a walk in the park tomorrow night, as Pittsburgh sucks. Now that I say that, I'm going to eat it, but I think the boys will be fine. And I think Stolars and Hilda be in net are fucking going to be interesting. With Woll, we're not quite sure what he's up to. So, again, fucking regular season's not the issue with Toronto.
Well, yeah, and especially this far into the regular season, like we're only a few games in. Trust me, we're in the fantasy league, and it's not playing. I was like, well, does anyone play around here?
Dude, I don't even want to talk about it. Everyone's fucking doubtful for the football. Like, everybody just doubtful between Monday and Thursday in football. Everyone, I'm doubtful. I don't know if I'm going to play Sunday. Coach, let me take a practice off.
Right.
Nobody wants to practice in the NFL.
We're not talking about game. We're talking about practice.
Well,
we got Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso, and this certainly is not practice. But let us know, folks, who you taking for this match, whether you're taking Jimmy Uso or Solo Sikoa, as I like MBB saying, Jimmy ICAF. Yeah, got that drip. And then Jimmy walking like he got that thing on him. Might pull it out, might back it out,
Solo putting the finger up the crowd, boos. The Bloodline outside. And there we go. That was a shitty.
But this is big bro versus little bro. It's two big bros. We know how this tends to normally play out a little bit.
Little bro. Bit of a tank, though. Big chop.
Oh. Yeah, blocks with the super kick with the elbow there, the back elbow strike there.
Why should cheer Liv Morgan on to get the WrestleMania 41 as champion? Because 500 days is historic. Byron, I think there was part of that question that went sideways that I don't know what we're cheering.
There were words there. I don't know what they meant, but tope from Jimmy. But I don't think that we're cheering.
Tope.
I swear to God, I did not do anything.
Not alone. I have a big little brother too. Sometimes you gotta show who's. Trust me, bro. I got 3 of them.
Right. I got the replay of the tope. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay.
Poetic.
No, I lost a set of sock and boppers because all of a sudden I was apparently Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather with my little brothers and everything like that because they wanted to do some things. And you pop them good one time, and then all of a sudden pencils come out.
Hey, we had hockey sticks. Go figure.
Yeah. I'm amazed you got teeth.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Solo draping him over the ropes. They have done some work unlike I've ever seen with the Bloodline storyline. It's last near 5 years and still interesting, and it's always in flux. 100%. And again, they've gone through ebbs. Like they've gone through those moments, Nick, where we're like, okay, it's a little quiet. It's almost like they're recharging, right? Like Roman loses the belt, they go a bit quiet after WrestleMania, but then Solo starts to emerge and really take on that story, and then it builds back up. Now we're back into this big kind of moment. Roman's back. Now we walk this story for a while. And I agree with them. And I know there's a lot of people that want to sling hate that somehow this is just forced down our throat. It's been the best thing. And again, we got to go back to the 80s to find storytelling of 5, 6, 7 years of that quality.
Yeah, this is a masterclass in storytelling. This is, I don't know who to fully give credit for because it's been transitions and there's been so many people involved with this, but this is right now WWE's magnum opus of they've sat there and managed to make this last 5 years when normally we struggle to make a story last a year.
Yeah,
So
people get 6 months. People are like, "Oh, it's getting old."
I'm
Like,
saying there's some of it, but that's the thing is you'll get that every now and then you give it like 2 weeks, and they pull you right back in.
Yeah. And again, it's been a consistent, like they got a little quiet, a little like, all right, Roman's just beating everybody up. What's going to happen? Then the Sammy storyline came along and it got funny. Is he going to be in? Is he going to be out? Oh, shit, he's in. Oh, wait, he's out again. Like there always seems to be something to reignite the interest in what's happening.
This almost feels to an extent as Solo smacks Jimmy onto the outside here as he pops up. But this almost feels like to an extent what the NWO could have been.
Yeah.
Of the group that was going to take over the faction that was super dominant, but so much infighting, and you play out the infighting and everything that it becomes, it breathes enough and it spells itself out enough.
Yeah. And they've done a really good job of like you said, there's a good amount of infighting, then they kind of go in flux and it becomes an external threat like a Cody Rhodes they got to deal with, and then they turn back into each other and they got to deal with their own little problems, and then someone else to deal with. It's been consistent. And again, if you can find me something that's been as good, I'm all ears. But I mean, realistically, they've been cooking for a long time.
But like you said too, it harkens back to like the territory type of storytelling where you've got families that run through the whole course and everything like that. Of you don't now it's no longer about the title, it's now about family versus family type of situation, which has been so lost and so remiss in pro wrestling.
Yeah, no Jim saying Tongas are trash. They should have started NXT. Hilarious that they should have started NXT, but it was a travesty if MCMG did.
Yeah, New Japan tag champs versus Impact tag champs, but one you can't start an NXT, but the other should have allegedly.
Tonga Loa has had some moments that we make fun of, but I mean that doesn't take away from everything else he does. Tama Tonga is outstanding. I got no issue with Tama at all, and them as a tag team, I have no issue. Them being the tag champs, I have no issue. Them not going to NXT, well, I mean, we had a story to tell. But we needed a bloodline. Solo needed some guys. They are perfectly fine where they're at.
Let's just sit back and think about that right now. Potentially, your SmackDown tag division, just even naming 3 teams right now, would involve theoretically the Lucha Bros, the Gorillas of Destiny, and Motor City Machine Guns. And tell me that ain't a fucking solid tag team division.
That's pretty filthy.
That's fantasy booking, and they pulled it off.
Yeah, it's crazy. And again, I'm really curious to see what happens with Penta. Does Penta come over before Ray? Does he just say, fuck it, you're not booking us anyway? Dave Meltzer was the one that went on the record that said Tony did this out of almost spite, and that Tony's fear was it would break the dam. That tells you a lot. Because if Tony's standing holding the door shut and there's a bunch of wrestlers beating on that door to get the fuck out. Again, I'm not saying he was right or wrong, but it does tell you a lot about where Tony's confidence is.
That says like that last line is the most damning line.
Yeah.
That it would have broken the dam.
Yeah.
That if it would have been the floodgates open of people are on their way out, that's a big issue. Like I've never heard that in WCW, NWA, TNA, WWE.
Well, you know what it's
ECW,
like?
I've never heard someone sit there and openly say, if
Well,
so and so goes, then they're all gonna go.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like when X-Pac came back and he said Nash and Hall would be standing next. They sued him. Nash and Hall would be standing next to me if they weren't being held hostage. It kind of has that vibe to it of like, no, and you're right. No one has come out and said like we lose this, the boat is sinking, but it has that vibe for me of like I'm here, but my friends wanted to come too.
Yeah, they're just still left on the raft out there.
Big insecurity.
Right? Solo and Control now. But I like this from
Holy shit, Solo.
This is pretty much what I was saying. If WWE is doing what WCW did with the NWO and the Wolfpack, just better in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's really of that same vein, of that same lineage to a little bit of the infighting, the family ties, everything like that. The family lines versus, tribal lines is different.
Yeah, and I like the idea that, I mean, like our buddy said, just better. And I think what's better is the Wolfpack was a splintering where this bloodline, it felt like a takeover, but because the Tongans and Jacob were brand new, they weren't other members of the bloodline. It felt like it was a new thing where the Wolfpack was that break off. So I agree. Yeah. The comparable is perfect. And where you say it's better, that's why I feel like it's a little better. It doesn't just feel like we split the group in half. It's like a new group, a younger group, a hungrier group.
It's a new chapter versus a splinter. It's not. It's a follow up. It's a new movie versus a sequel.
Yeah, I like it. Tongans have been around for a bit. This isn't their first rodeo. Yeah, I mean, give them credit. And did anybody really complain about how that tag match went last week? Where whoever said the Tongans are trash? How did that match go next week?
Yeah, put some respect on Camacho's name.
They've done some work, unlike we got that one.
I'll play down right now as we get a huge pop.
There you go.
And I like the overhead shot.
Are they gonna put Camacho on NXT MTB, man? Fucking guy.
All right.
But unlike
shots back and forth. Ernagi or Ernage, what have you, whichever one you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, MDB, that's kind of my sentiment. And I kind of agree. You kind of said what I said, but better or quicker.
They only have so many characters they can use.
Yeah, right.
Until the end of this, until we decide to stop talking.
Right. It's the new blood versus the Millionaire Club all over again.
Fuck off, big dog. No, it's not. Like, did you even watch that? Like, I honestly, like, as someone who's watched that, and like, honestly, I compare shit to WCW as much as I do, and just because I've watched so much WCW that I can see the tea leaves and everything. To say it's like that is just fuck me. Like, that's so out there.
That's funny as shit, though. I appreciate it.
Sorry, but not sorry.
Jesus. How was the MCMG? We'll find out next week, Gordon.
Right. As Solo setting Jimmy up for the second hip thrust in the corner. As again, I just need like how they had like I don't want to call them stuffies, but like the fighting figures, like the stuffed things with like Hogan and Macho and everything. I need one of just Jacob just doing this.
You know what I really want, Nick?
What?
Whoa, Jimmy super kick! You know what I really want? I want someone to take a bunch of clips of Jacob Fatu in WWE and put it to like a prayer.
Yes! Someone put life is a mystery.
All right.
When you call my chief, I'm to
Solo and Jimmy fighting to their feet. Super kick to the gut. The up chop.
A little bit of a Samoan. Oh, dodges out the Samoan
that's
drop.
a big boy.
Stub and Zaguri.
And again, people stay what they want, but I mean, Solo gets to have a really good match. Jimmy is a vet that helps him do it. I got no problem with this, man. I mean, it's so far so good. Great main event.
Solo is still, to me, a guy right now that the character and the presentation is going to help him versus what he does in the ring. I'm not saying he's, getting 5-star general, but I'm not saying he's bad either. But yeah, this is the way that they've presented this and everything, I think adds so much to it.
Right. Dun, 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 dun.
The Judgment Day intercepts Roman Reigns. Richard, again, still, whatever vitamins you are on, I'll take 2, 3, 4 of, because my guy.
Jimmy distracted. Going for the thumb. Eats a clap.
Oh, I got a Samoan drop.
Samoan drop.
1, 2. 2 go. 2 go. 2 go.
Oh. Jimmy's rhinestones are all over the ring. Yeah. Rhinestone cowboy.
Oh, yeah, well, because Jimmy out there with the drip, but I still think that he's a little bit out there like Ocho Cinco. I'll save my money and buy fake jewelry.
Right. Jimmy
getting yanked. 1, 2, 3. Bob's your uncle. Solo Sikoa wins. As we still got 3 minutes. Did someone say 3 minutes?
Did somebody say 3 minutes? As the Bloodline gets the win, well, Solo gets the win thanks to the Bloodline. And here they are. They're on Jimmy.
Oh, yeah. And out comes Roman, of course, 100%. And I like how they're not running this time. Now we're going to stand our ground. Excuse me.
Wait a minute. Here he comes. Crowd goes wild. And Roman's out. But Superman punch. Jacob gets wobbled. Hangs him up. And Roman still looks like the baddest guy in the building, except
Superman punch. Not a Superman punch. Everybody eating Superman punches.
Watch Solo. Just stalking in the background.
But now this is what you've been waiting for. This is what is supposed to be what they've been setting up here is Roman versus Solo.
Yep.
Original tribal chief. Original recipe versus new recipe. Or original Coke versus new Coke.
Big chance. Roman and
Solo here to break it up.
This is what I said. Roman needs to get a little bit of an ass whooping. He needs a reason to need Jey Uso. Right now, he doesn't need the help.
Oh, as Jacob with the little Samoan side splash in the corner there, as Jimmy's coming back, fighting back, eats a super kick.
Yeah, I agree, Boston. I think it wouldn't help the story if Roman just laid waste to everybody because it doesn't make the new blood feel anything special. But here you go. The bloodline is laying waste to the OG bloodline. Perfect.
Right? You just had Jimmy eat the Polynesian Samoan moonsault there.
It's so good.
And now
they got Roman on his knees
from Jacob.
There you go. Roman looking helpless. Roman eating a spike. Perfect. And those rhinestones are fucking everywhere.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
Yeah, Jacob is like I couldn't even imagine being like a McDonald's employee and Jacob walks in for an order. He's just fucking intense with everything.
You shake it as your head in a minute. Just like, take it and go. Take it and go. But no, this is what you needed as Jacob's even draping the Ulafala over Solo after they just take the loss at Bad Blood. This is how you reestablish and you regather all of that heat that they had before.
Right? And then again, he's got the Ulafala. That's a perfect visual. Jimmy looking at Roman say, look, Jimmy's doing it. Come on, bro. We got to get our yeet on, motherfucker.
Right. We need help. We can't do this. This is 2 against 5. 4. I can't math. I went from, standard
something
to
we don't
metric
know.
there. I counted somebody extra.
Right? Jacob counts as 2.
Fucking, you goddamn right he does, motherfucker. That's an army of 1 if I've ever seen one.
And then we go off the air with the little credits. It feels very show-like now. Executive producer Paul.
I still want the fucking Arrested Development or something music to play as the credits go up there. But yes, that does it for Friday Night Smackdown. As now I gotta try and find Rampage.
Well, as I'm getting the start of the Golden Knights in St. Louis, I think. Might be better than
doing you a solid of, bro. You ain't even want to watch this. You can have that. Not even what I'm mad at.
I'm not gonna lie, it might be better. It might be better.
Right? You can let us know as I've got Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy about to take on
the
Kingdom here.
Undisputed
David and Bennett.
Man, so I'm so confused because like it's been this weird thing of like the conglomeration's mad at the learning tree's mad at the conglomeration, but they keep fighting members of the United Kingdom. The they might as well be.
That's Canada. You keep fighting the United Kingdom.
Right? That's the other side of the pond. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take your rating out of 10 on SmackDown as well. Let us know what you liked, what didn't you like, what was good, what was bad. I really liked tonight's show. Storytelling wise, angle wise, match wise, maybe a little light. Like as far as like what was like the whole shit match. I thought LA Knight, they were a few good matches, maybe not a holy fuck match, but overall a good night.
I feel like they got the matches that you gave a shit about out the way really fast, like within the first hour, and then everything else was story. So
a lot of story.
I'll 7.5. Like I still do like it, but I think it was very story heavy. It was fit on the matches.
A little bit.
But, it was receding on the matches. If it needed some just for men or something, that it was receding like an airline.
Like the women's tag match wasn't that solid. I mean, Naomi's match with Nia was good. Naomi gets the win, so I know Anthony's giving bonus points. My question here is, will Sammy join before Jay?
No.
I don't think so.
He's the least to trust them. Like, Jay still at least got the blood tie-in.
Right.
Sammy has no fucking reason to trust them.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I like the setup of this. And again, no Rock tonight. So he's still doing his Thanos thing, which Nick said 5. Technically, there is a 5th, in my humble opinion.
Fair enough. Hey, he's going to snap that shit. Yeah. And I see what you did. But yeah, and he sat there and even with his little IG promo of the final boss will let you know when the final boss decides he needs to let you know.
Yeah.
All of that.
That's funny.
Sorry, I was going to mention about the conglomeration and then the Kingdom and everything. AEW feels like it's a scrap heap of misused and abused factions. It's the island of misfit toys a little bit when it comes to that, because the conglomeration's the union. It's a bunch of people that could have been better solo, but just decided to pair together. The Undisputed Kingdom hasn't meant a fuck for a while, and so on and so forth.
I will admit, the start of this match, OC and Kyle O'Reilly together look swift. Like they look like their tandem offense has been solid, crisp. How I like my coffee. But yeah, I mean, you guys don't have coffee, Chris?
No.
Really?
Son of a bitch. I don't know what the fuck you're on about. I don't drink coffee. But anyways, finish your point, and then we'll talk about coffee.
A bunch of Canadians laughed at that joke, but they look really good. Like they're high-fiving. They got like something. Like shit. It was all right.
They got a little snap, a little citrus in there and everything. But yeah, no. But still, that's not saying that Taven and Bennett aren't good as a tag team.
No, they're good.
The factions surrounding them. It's a nugget of gold in a mountain of shit is really what it kind of feels like a bit.
But yeah, I really like what OC and Kyle O'Reilly were just doing. And again, Taven and Bennett are vets, been tagging together forever. I mean, again, if we got this kind of match where there's actually tags and quality tag team wrestling on a Wednesday, I'd be thrilled. Like, this is better than the matches you're giving us on a Wednesday. Use this shit.
Well, it's a good transition to go from this is what you tune in, going from Friday Night Smackdown into this. Like, this is a solid,
Nice match.
nice little transition here. See, Anthony's not. He's out there with me. Never heard of a coffee crisp. I've heard of cookie crisp, but never coffee crisp. Yeah.
Coffee
do tell. Regale us. Regale.
It's just a chocolate bar, but it's like a wafer chocolate bar with coffee infused. But like I said,
I thought it was something that you had specifically with coffee. You dipped in coffee.
It's just a chocolate bar that's coffee flavored.
Oh, fair enough.
And the commercial for years used to be like, "How do you like your coffee?" And some old English lady would go, "Crisp. I like it crisp." And that was the whole gag. So there you go. There's some Canadian honor for Canadian honor.
It just meant more that that old woman was delusional and senile. Crisp. She didn't realize that liquid couldn't be crisp.
Right. 8.5 from Damien. 8 out of 10. I think I'm there. I think I'll go 8. 7.5 seems fair. 8, 7.5, 9, fair enough. But I mean, I think it could be backed off a little. 8, 8.75. Eating AEW's lunch out of 10. Facts.
Pause.
Dirty Dom will be maybe.
Why did I think of Billy Madison with that, of eating AEW's lunch? You know who did that? Yeah. Goddamn Sandsquatch.
Who eats all those lunches?
If overbooking your shows is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
8.75, 7.5. I can't wait for MCMG next week. Oh, dude, I'm pumped. And again, Nick Aldis planting the seeds of no. These guys coming in matter. Like DIY, private party, social gathering, street profits. Wait your turn. We got new guys coming in. So I like how they're doing it. And even for the fans in the building that aren't that sure who MCMG is, these vignettes, these teases, they build up these guys must be good.
Yeah, well, and we've seen that. And again, spoilers alert with the Viking Raiders when it comes to Monday Night Raw, the War Raiders. So very much they're putting an emphasis, at least, on the tag team division right now. Yeah, it's so crazy to me if we're seeing from like 6 to like 9s. Like, I don't know where we get to 9s with this. I don't know. I'm 7.5.
Who said 6? I haven't seen anything lower than a 7.5.
Roddy is saying a 6, and followed by Inslee Denisha saying 9. With
6
Boston saying 7.5, 8, 7.5. You were reading off 9s and all of that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to know how Roddy gets to be the outlier, right? So that's the problem with Roddy's rating. I'm curious why he thought it was 6, but it's fair. You're allowed. I'm just curious how you got to that mark. I think 7 and up seems fair. 7 and 9 I can live with. 9 seems a little too high for me, but I'm picky. But 6 seems a little low.
7 is the line of demarcation with this. I feel a bit of that's the standard. Like, if you're going to go and be the criticalist of criticals and everything, this is at least probably a 7. To go below that, what have you, show your work. Fair
enough. I mean, again, I gave it marks because I'm really into the Roman story. I'm really into the Bloodline story. I'm really into the KO story. So if you're basing your grade on kind of what they gave you in the ring, maybe you're a little disappointed. Maybe you're more of a work rate guy, which I hate. But again, I think overall that was a really fucking strong show. Nice move by Taven.
I think it was a really story-heavy show, so that's why I'm knocking it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I didn't like it, but I'm saying as far as it was good story. It in ring was different, but yeah,
I could go 7.5. I can live with that. But I mean, overall, it was very what I would call a solid show.
It was a solid show. I have the best show. Huge shows. Nothing but an 8 or above.
8 out of 10 from Andy. Andy, thank you. If WCW Monday Night Nitro from the start of NWO in 83 weeks was aired, it should have higher views than AEW Me thinks. I don't know what that means. What the fuck?
Doing Are You How?
Did you figure this out? I don't know where.
I think he's trying to say that WCW has higher views than AEW over their 83 weeks, which I don't think anyone has ever tried to dispute or anything, or even question or what have you. But like I said, you do you, boo boo.
Mm-hmm. If they just fed MCMG to the Bloodline, though, that's gonna suck. I'd rather them just get built up for a few wins against another team. So yeah, if they come in and fight Legato, I think that helps. Again, if they get fed to the Bloodline, I don't like it, but I mean, there's an opportunity here for a really strong babyface to chase the Bloodline for a little bit. Maybe
Yeah, I don't want
to the War Games.
I don't want to get mad at things that could happen. I want to get more excited about the things that will happen and everything. Like
Yeah.
we know what we're going to get with this, so I'm more excited for that than already being negative and being pessimistic about shit that might happen. There's nothing saying that Motor City doesn't take the belts off the Bloodline, and that's what you start to see, the fissure lines and the cracks and everything start to form.
Right. I do believe Matt Taven should be in the main event scene, in my opinion. I don't think people understand how underrated he is. He's outstanding. Mike Bennett is really good too. And, you know, Maria Kanellis put it out there that her time with AEW is coming up at the end of the month, which means theirs must be too. They all came in together. Now, my question is, like Maria said, I'm open for interviews about my time and treatment in AEW. Hold on tight. Because, again, Maria Kanellis could have helped their women's division in such a huge way.
And we'll still, even after I feel where the Undisputed Kingdom blew up a bit, Wardlow's misused, Adam Cole's out, you could have thrown her in there, and I think you could have still used that and prop that and still kept it afloat. You could have patched that ship up, and instead you let it sink.
Yeah. But I really, listen, I'll be honest. This might be my favorite AEW match of the week.
As Kyle O'Reilly and OC pick up the win, and Jeff Bridges, the dude abides in the front row there. It looks like.
Oh, hello, Renee. I'm trying to think. Anybody? What was a really good match on Tuesday from Dynamite?
The end.
Oh, great. Mercedes is here.
Yeah. Oh.
Both WWE and AEW need better teams and better names for said teams. Street Profits, AOP, they're fine. No improvement needed. Big Dog, you're not wrong. I mean, again, I think this is a mandate of Triple H as we head towards 2025. We're seeing him build a tag team division. He's done it with the women. He's building that up. Now you see what he's doing with the men. They wanted the Lucha Bros to be a part of this mix. I do believe that there's hope. I mean, the names are funky sometimes, even the just individual names of like Oba Femi. Like I've never met an Oba. I played an oboe, but not
you played an Oba in the band.
This one time at band camp.
What did you do with an Oba there?
I love KO's new attitude. I think it's great.
You know who I wish would get a new attitude? Mercedes.
Nope. That's I don't think that's gonna happen. Yo, I want to know where Matt Caster got the fucking starter jacket with the heart in the middle. Oh. I'm saying if it was a rerun against AEW, that's too hard to do. Bennett should be in TNT title scene. Yep, fair enough. They were
as well.
But Taven and Bennett were like a good with Maria, like and they were doing good things in TNA when they left and took the Tony money. And it just never came to be. Remember, they brought him out like, look, the kingdom, and then the nothing, like the grizzled young vets, the grizzled, where'd they go?
The grass might look greener, but the shit don't hit the same.
Right.
As now MXM, Mansour and Massey out here taking out the Acclaim. So this is where we're getting up to set up the match for them taking each other on at WrestleDream because reasons.
Yeah. I like a little wrestling in my stories. Yeah, I think that's a fair comment, Paul. I mean, tonight was a light wrestling night overall, as far as like, oh my god, but the main event was good. I mean, I liked it, but it was more about the story. I'm speaking of stories real quick. Slowly, MXM versus the Acclaimed is becoming one of the more intriguing angles on this show, and they should be kind of using this on Dynamite. This is a running theme so far for Rampage.
Well, it's a running theme for WrestleDream of they should be using this on Dynamite. But I would do tell with how this has been compelling.
I just find like if you think about like the Bucks versus Private Party, not that interesting. But at least these guys have gone back and forth. I didn't like the whole fashion show. It was silly, but it played in the character. But now they're jumping them. They're cutting a hard promo on them. I mean, you don't have any other tag teams with this much heat against each other right now. I'm not saying
you should have this with the Grizzly Young Vets and the Bucks or FTR or what have you. But yeah,
but it's just surprising. Anthony, like Anthony, I highly endorse that. Go check it out. It's worth the watch.
Oh, I don't know.
Roddy, Wrestling for Life gets a 10 out of 10 and a like. Peace. See you Monday. Thank you, Roddy.
No, you need to be here Saturday. You need to be here tomorrow when we're here at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time for WrestleDream. 100%. This is where you can see the blow off, the payoff between MXM and the Acclaimed.
I like the hologram match on Tuesday. Are you pulling my leg?
It's because he didn't see it because it was a hologram. He just thought it was Tupac out there doing his hologram performance and everything.
Terror Twins is one of the worst. I think the Terror Twins was something that organically came up, though. I don't think they handed that to him. Like, I don't think they
I don't
kind
care
of.
If it's organic, it's bad.
I don't care. I mean, they're not even really a tag team. Calling them the Terror.
They're not even twins. That's what events is. They're not even really twins. I don't give a fuck.
They're not even fucking. It doesn't matter. I never met an Oba. I didn't like KJ. There you go. I hate the CEO character. We all do. We all do. Richard, other than me, we all hate it. As now we're getting a video package.
Yeah, you had a stat video package.
Oh, it's stat basically saying, sorry, I went heel. My bad.
Sorry, I was a bitch.
Oh, Stokely fucked me up. I'm not a grown-ass adult. I got tricked. Oh, no.
Well, Stokely's now just lost it. It's so...
What you just told your fan base is, thank you for wasting your time on this story for the last little bit.
Nothing feels thought out across the board. I'm not saying just with this feud, just across the board. Nothing feels like it has a 2 or 3 month or 4 month or 5 month plan and everything. And I know not every wrestling story has a 5 month plan, but they at least should have a month to a 2 month plan.
But you should have.
Where are you going to end up here?
Your main stuff should be planned out 6 months. Like you should be planning your main stuff out in 6 months blocks.
Your main players. I won't say main stories because you can move stories.
Yeah. You have to have a plan. You got to know where you're heading to get there, and you almost have to work backwards on it. But then, I mean, with your side stuff or your smaller stuff, well, then that kind of gets hit and miss. But you saw it with Darby, and I think you mentioned it. Like it's a perfect example of how booked Darby got. Like, oh shit, we gave him a touch. We said it. You can't have 3 number 1 contenders all at the same time and then start bumping people. Pac got bumped. Darby gets bumped. Darby loses his match altogether. I'm losing my mind, but I'm going to take a quick pause, Nick, and I shall return.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, you got so far ahead of the game when it came to that. When it came to that, and you booked so far in advance and everything that you became just starting to stumble on your own toes and everything like that. And now you didn't have a plan how to get out of it. That's the thing is, to me, it's forethought. Again, it's restraint, it's forethought, it's storyboarded out, planned it out of have a plan for everything instead of you have to do this half-assed caveat bullshit of, you know, oh, I didn't mean to be a hero, but I was because, you know, the whole feud that we built of me being a heel didn't really work out that well, so I need to pivot here and everything. Like, I get if you have to do a weird pivot. We saw it, we talked about it earlier with like Dwayne and Cody and all of that with the WrestleMania main events, but you shouldn't be doing that in your mid cards, in your women's divisions, all that. Have a plan, have a set tone, have an angle, have a storyline laid out 100%. But Jordan, what up? Bash 8 saying the hologram match was a horrible, worst match of the year. I don't think it was the worst match of the year. I won't say it was worst match of the year. He might be up there for worst wrestler of the year, but yeah. It was a fun watch. Anthony almost done with the first season. Oh, we're still talking about Yellowstone. I ain't seen it. Jordan, what up? MTB, lazy booking. I don't think it's exactly even lazy booking. I think it's just it's spot booking. It's really what it is. It feels the same. Like you see, I don't want to even fully, but I will. But like an MLW, a GCW, what have you, you're very rarely you'll find nuggets of something that'll actually have a carryover, but the rest is kind of more spontaneity and everything. Meanwhile, WWE's been laying out. We talked about it before SmackDown went off the air. And again, you can still let us know your ratings for Friday Night SmackDown if you haven't as well. And make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. But to where the Bloodline storyline's been going now at least 4 years. At least 4 years, if not pushing 5. And is still doing fine. Meanwhile, you're hard pressed to find an AEW storyline at times that can go 5 weeks and still feels fine. That's a little bit of it of forethought and forethinking to me does wonders. Lisa said 9.5 as I got Renee Mux the Good backstage with OC, Kyle O'Reilly, and Rocky Romero. I didn't realize how short Rocky was. But Lisa saying SmackDown's a 9.5. Storyline wise, it was really good. Match quality and everything like that, lackluster a little bit. It was an all right show. It was an above average show. I will say that. But yeah, as tonight we're getting Rocky Romero versus Brian Keith. Why aren't we getting Brian Keith versus, Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor World title? Why are we getting Brian Keith featured a bit more prominently here? Remember when he was a big signing that AEW got? When all of these recent indie signings that AEW's gotten were actually big signings instead of you were just here prominent for a second. As I'm getting stat coming up right now. Honestly, I'm just getting, overwhelmed with the riches of women's wrestling out here we're getting tonight. We've got Jade and Bianca versus Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. We got Tiffany Stratton out there. Now I'm turning around and getting Statlander. We eating good out here. As Camille's watching backstage, I do think that that's going to be a good match. It has a little bit of Rhea Raquel vibes to me, a wee bit. I do wish, though, that Statlander was out there more, say, going after a Mariah May, going after the actual women's world title versus the TBS title. Like, when did the TBS title become more prevalent and more over than the actual AEW women's title, as she's taking on local enhancement talent and hits a suspended suplex? Let me know who you're taking with this right now, because it's got to be Stat. But yeah, because I can't even tell you who she's facing outside of local enhancement. DB now watching AEW Rampage. AEW Rampage, hashtag so not sponsored. Yeah, folks, well, you write to the companies. You let the peoples know. You let Manscaped and all of them know that they need to be out here sponsoring us and everything, because we be out here doing the work and giving them shout outs and all that and be, killing it. And we need them sponsors. But yes. Chris Thicklander, AR1. Yeah, you read my mind 100%. Stats good. Willow's good. I just really wish that the actual women's title, the main women's title, was the prominent title versus the TBS championship. And I guess it's a good thing KJ's on a pause, as I've got his favorite Canadian turned American for Floridian, actually, Chris Jericho on my screen. Hi, guys. If Willow doesn't win, I would love to see Willow get the TBS title from Monet. Fair enough, fair enough. All right, let's get this through with 216. Talking about lazy booking, so it's okay. Roman can get his ass kicked, but Rhea can get her ass licked by Liv and company. What the fuck are you on about? 316. Again, not every comment you make has to involve Liv and Rhea. You can talk about other things in wrestling. Just saying. I appreciate you. Just saying. When did Renee switch outfits? I don't know. Now watching AEW, I didn't even realize that would popped up. Yeah, keep clicking on things. But yeah, bathroom break segment now. Yeah. Melatonin Chris Jericho out here. If you have a problem sleeping, just watch anything involved in the learning tree and it'll put you to sleep real quick. It hits better than an indica constraint. Trust me. I've tried it. Speaking of tried it,
bro.
I was waiting. You could have missed this. You didn't have to come back here.
That close.
You could have sat there and just sat on the bench.
I do. I you know, it was just time. He kept talking and talking. Do you know who Jericho's biggest fan is? Fucking Jericho.
No, 100%. Like, was that a trick question?
Like, my God, this guy sucks.
Thanks, guys.
Here comes one of the biggest booked guys in all of AEW, Mortos. Mortos. This guy was a mid-carder in TNA. He's booked like a main eventer in AEW. Help me understand.
Black Taurus out here playing the Bret Hart holograms. Is it fucking Goldberg here with this? Roderick Strong on commentary, as by the way, Jeff Jarrett just on commentary. Is he doing double, triple, quadruple duty now?
Why does Roddy have an issue with more toast? Or is he just strictly on commentary?
I don't know.
I hate Jericho. Jericho could talk. Jericho could cure cancer tomorrow, and I'd still shit on him. I'll be honest. Like, I'll be honest, guys.
I did do it yesterday.
Oh, the Butcher, another guy that I wish got booked.
Right.
Well, Butcher.
Yeah, another Buffalo guy, 100%. But I like that from AR1 of saying more Athena. Like, what does Athena have to do to get booked on a WrestleDream or something like that? To get booked on an AEW pay-per-view?
Dear Athena, dress up as Tony Khan for Halloween. You'll be a fucking champion by the end of the year.
And you'll be arrested for cocaine possession by the end of the month.
I said, don't live Tony Khan's gimmick. Just pretend to be him for a night.
We're looking for a perp who looks like that.
I do. I wish, guys, once upon a time, I was a big Jericho fan. And Jericho being the first ever AEW champion made a lot of sense. Since then, he sucks.
Well, I wouldn't even say at this point it's hate. It's just honesty. You're just honest about Chris Jericho. We've even joked of it. The man sat there and said, if it got vocal for me to retire, I'd retire. Is this man deaf? Can this man hear? Like,
it is equivalent to Ryback putting a poll on his fucking Instagram and the fans vote that he retires, and he's like, oh, that's just haters. That's what Jericho's doing. If you want me to retire, chant it. Retire! Ah, you guys are so cute.
Oh, you're funny. You're silly. You're silly. It's definitely hate too. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's devolved. I will admit. Like I have an absolute physical, visceral reaction to Jericho when he pops up. I hate seeing him. We just talked about like the WWE cycling guys in and out. Right? Jericho who hasn't like cycle out, motherfucker.
Just get on the bench. Just get the fuck on the bench.
Sit.
I like this. No, there's definitely a smidgen of hate in KJ's Jericho rants. I think that's part of what makes it work. But I like Lisa here too. I'm sure SmackDown was so good that it would make someone forget that AEW had a pay-per-view tomorrow. You're not lying.
But Look, now Roddy's cheering on Mortos, who just joined LGI that's now managed by Jake the Snake Roberts. I am so confused.
Allegiances don't make any sense. I mean, if you're going to go just heels with heels, but isn't Butcher supposed to also be a heel?
He's kind of a heel, yeah. I think. I don't know. We see him once a year.
we see him when we get close to Buffalo, or we need someone that's a hefty boy, and Brody's already booked.
Yeah, or a tag team battle royal. That's the only time we see this motherfucker.
Yeah, but no, because we don't even see Blade. I haven't seen Blade or Bunny.
No, Piper. Yeah. No, who came back? Penelope Ford.
Penelope Ford. Who cared? Penelope Ford.
Need Chase U versus the Learning Tree.
What?
The one thing that would make
in a South Harmon Institute of Technology match.
Brutal. I'm not looking forward to the Mark Briscoe Jericho match. No, nobody is. Nobody.
If you are, please check yourself. We're not sponsored, but please use BetterHelp, or at least explain what you are looking forward to in that match. Why you are looking forward to it.
I would rather read an hour straight of 316's Liv comments than watch more Jericho.
I wasn't going to go that way with it, but you want to do that.
Happy Friday, folks. It's a Feel Good Friday here at the Wrestling for Live Network. Be a friend, tell a friend. Remember, we are back tomorrow, as right now I'm in pitcher and pitcher, as Butcher is actually getting some offense on Mortos.
Jericho has such an awful gimmick right now. AEW will not last 10 years.
Ooh.
AEW will last until bank accounts last.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
Right. Sorry. MDB just quickly reminded me. Blade and Bunny did leave.
Yeah.
Bunny retired. Shit.
She does. Well, I don't. Again, hashtag not sponsored and shameless plug. She does like a horror movie podcast with Sienna. I can't remember what other name she has. When in doubt, Pinky Out and everything like that. They do a whole thing together. But that's the last I saw was Bunny was doing. Yeah, Blade's another Buffalo guy. Like they're all Buffalo peoples. But they've been gone. Allison K. Thank you, MDB.
There you go. Jericho has such an awful gimmick. Now, here's the thing with Jericho. We just talked about this with Roman. Like, Roman feels so naturally him. KO feels like KO. Jacob feels like Jacob. Chris Jericho feels like he's acting.
He feels like Jericho. It's just shit.
Well, but that's the thing. But it's so fake and phony and manufactured. And again, I said it was reactionary. He started behaving this way because people hated on him. And he thought it would be a rib to take everything the internet said about him and pull it into his gimmick. And it's just made him intolerable.
Yeah, you ribbed a rib and somehow it came all the way back around. It went full circle.
Right. This very point, Khan will make hologram a 5-time. It's coming. Hold on tight. He'll have a belt. Will hologram have a belt before the end of 2024?
No, because we got 2 months, but I'll say by the end of 2025.
By the end of 2024, I think he'll have it like an IC belt or the continent. Like he'll find his way into a Ring of Honor TV championship. He'll have a Tony Khan belt before the end of the year.
Oh, fair enough. I would say just on the sake of time, I was saying into 2025. But
yeah, fair enough. Is Mortos a furry or a luchador?
Both.
Call him B.
Both.
Andre Chase becomes Harlem Bravado. Bring him back. Let's go. Hangman Page has been there since day one. He should be the face of the company. MJF is getting into movies, and I don't see him in AEW for long. Do you know what Hangman's done really well, Nick?
Mm.
Hangman has been in and out. Hangman takes like 5 months off. He was gone for paternity leave. But when he comes back, we kind of get excited, and then we reminded that he has some talent. That's what these other motherfuckers don't do. Orange Cassidy, the Bucks, Jericho. It's like insecurity. Like if I take a month off, everyone's going to forget about me and not want me to come back. That's what I feel it is with Jericho. Like I'm going to be the last one to leave the party because y'all are going to talk shit about me if I leave. Yes.
Instead, you stay and everyone forgets about you and doesn't want to see you and doesn't care about it. Yeah, it's one of those of, snake bit bite of, well, I don't want to take a pause or anything like that and, get a refresh or anything like that because everyone will forget about me. But instead, I'll overstay my welcome. And then everyone forgets about me and can't tolerate me and doesn't want to deal with me.
He just reeks of insecurity. He is, again, I'll say it, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Jera Hogan 2024 is a fucking thing.
Right. Well, I want to see you talk about this, and then I am actually going to take a pause real quick.
All right. As long as you continue to react, whether negatively or positively, then that means he's doing his job. That's how psychology works in pro wrestling. I get your point. The problem with Jericho is he's not getting a reaction from the audience in a big way. I know he pisses me off, but I'm approaching it not as a fan, as I'm breaking down what they're presenting. What he's presenting is garbage. It's not good. The matches, the payoffs aren't good. He didn't help Hook get over. He didn't help Starks get over. He didn't help FTR get over, MJF get over. Jericho is the cancer he accused CM Punk of being. That's my issue. And you're right. If you make the crowd boo, but I don't feel like Jericho's getting a lot of reaction from the fan base. From the fans that you're presenting to. And Mortis wins with a headbutt. Well, fuck, he's wearing a helmet with horns. All right. And you're right. Again, if you get dead silence from the audience, but I think Jericho was getting a lot of go away heat, not good heat that was building programs. And maybe part of it is the angles they're in, but yeah, I mean, again, is he getting the reaction he hopes for? I don't know. I just can't stomach him, and I will admit that. Again, some people have said, well, it's kind of funny, but it's like Jericho woke up one day and bumped his head and became someone new. It's shit. It's not helping the product. And the biggest reason it's not helping the product is you can't get a good payoff. The match tomorrow is going to be overbooked. It's going to be messy. If Jericho wins, I'm going to throw up. It's not good. Jericho Hogan, 100%. As I got Harley Cameron popping up on TV. Holy shit, Harley. Jericho knows that TK is a rich man, a rich mark. Oh, yeah. There's nobody in the company that has taken more advantage of Tony Khan than Chris Jericho. Yeah, he's got a helmet with horns. Headbutted a man for a win. And poor Butcher. The guy's a vet. Butcher and the Blade could have been something decent in this company. Put Butcher and Blade with the Righteous and Lance Archer. Now you got a group that can go up against fucking House of Black. But they don't. They don't use them. They just show up to do jobs. And of course, your new little favorite lucha toy gets a win over a big giant guy that should be kicking people in the face and fucking them out of their boots. Pause. Jericho doesn't help AEW bring in new fans, and he keeps fans they have. Or keep fans they have. That's the problem. Exactly. So, and again, I've seen a lot of time where the fans stopped singing the song. That's why he changed the song. The fans stopped cheering. The fans started, when you are supposed to be getting cheered and the fans start chanting, please retire, it's a problem. When you do things like you make yourself a baby face to go to All In so you could have your queen moment at Wembley, even though you're fighting Ospreay, who's clearly the baby face in England, that is where Jericho's hurting this company. That's where Jericho is killing this company. And if you're a fan of AEW or the wrestling, and Jericho comes on, you're turning more people away, to your point, Boston, than you're bringing people in. It's sad. Hologram will break Jade's record for being undefeated and become the world champion in 25. That blows my mind. As Lance Archer, by the way, no longer with Jake the Snake, or was Jake the Snake just on my TV? Lance Archer beating up his 45th jobber since 2022. It's a guy that just destroys jobbers and never gets a push. Yeah, no fucking shit. More toes closed design. I got to give it to you guys, as it takes a lot of endurance, willingness, and determination in streaming AEW. Well, you know what, Lisa? To be honest, it takes a lot of all of that to do all of what we do. We appreciate it. We will be here for several hours live tomorrow for AEW. But again, we love the wrestling. We love it. No matter what the company is, we've watched a lot of shows. We've been here in the morning. We've been here at the middle of the night. We just can't get enough, and we appreciate people like yourself and the fan base that make it possible. That's it. And his ego gets conflated by a billionaire Mark who will let him do whatever he wants. Jericho's an example like Vince Russo. When you have bad ideas, but you have a bunch of ideas, 9 out of 10 of your ideas are shit. And you have a guy that you work for that can filter your shit out and pick that one good idea and run with it. That's where that helps. But when you give a guy like Jericho freedom, you see what happens. Jericho thinks everything he does is wonderful. It's fucking awful. And my biggest complaint, as I lose my voice, my biggest complaint with Jericho is holding back better talent. You have better talent in your company. 3. As Lance Archer picks up the W against nobody. But if Jericho was used as a special attraction, if he came in for a run, ran for 3 months, went away for 6, came back for 3, it would work. I don't think Jericho has to retire, but Jericho's got to stop taking lucha match, right? Like Jericho against Mystico, stupid. Jericho versus Commander, stupid. As I got Jake the Snake on a promo. Jake Roberts, the biggest guy in LGI. Hilarious. Yeah, fact. Apparently, the reason Jake Roberts is managing LFI is now because Jake used the dumbest shit, Misfits. I read that today online. I don't know if that's just an apologist coming up with a theory, but my God, is that stupid? Like, no, I went there one time. Like, I know Jake worked AAA. There's some good stories about Jake sitting at the airport with his money, terrified that they were going to get him. But help me understand. Now, Don Callis is with Lance Archer. Does this mean Lance Archer is going to get some love? Are we going to get Lance Archer versus Will Ospreay? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Harley would rock Jake. She might kill him, Tony. She might kill him. All this talent in this company, and you get 2 local jobbers. Yeah, right. Why does Rampage and Collision have so many squash matches? Well, I mean, I'm okay with the secondary shows doing that. What's supposed to happen, Richard, is Lance Archer comes on Rampage, dominates a jobber, does it a few weeks in a row. Then when he shows up on Dynamite, people are like, oh my God, this Lance guy's been killing people. That's how it's supposed to work. You use your secondary shows to build your primary show. The problem is Lance Archer's been squashing guys for 4 years, and it didn't mean shit. So that's where the disconnect is. I'm okay with squash matches. You think about like a Sunday Night Heat kind of idea, or I mean, with a level up, like, it's a chance for a little bit of a showcase if done properly. You're gonna have to blame Tony Khan. Yeah, 100%. I'm with you. Ultimately, the buck stops with Tony Khan on any of this. I mean, I love the company. I want to see it do well, but as long as Tony Khan is the guy, everyone's seen Tony Khan in interviews. I mean, he did on Tuesday with his shoes untied. This guy's doing an announcement, a grown-ass man, his shoes untied. Get him the Velcro if he has to. Like, what are we doing? But that becomes the dilemma, is if Tony Khan isn't strong enough of a boss to look at Jericho or look at the Bucks or look at whoever, Sasha, and say, no, bad idea, we're not going to do that. Then the inmates run the asylum, and that's always been the criticism. I think that's what's happened. The too many inmates are now in charge, and Tony Khan is just a yes man. Tony Khan is a yes man in his own company, and it's his fault. Tony doesn't have the wherewithal to say, Jericho, go home for 6 months. We're going to write you off TV. When you come back, people are going to be excited to see you. He doesn't have the balls. He doesn't have the nagas to pull it off. Everybody die. Lance Archer. Remember he used to beat people up on the way to beating people up? They're saying on Twitter that people who was at SmackDown, they're cheering Dirty Dom and Liv. Oh my God, dude. Archer and Don Callis now, yes. They traded, even though Don Callis didn't have Los Ingranables. Two jobber matches tonight. Yeah. MJF being the AEW champion was the best thing on AEW TV since that's been god awful. When Joe was champ, it was boring. Swerve was okay besides Kenny and MJF. AEW hasn't had a legit draw. It is a concern. Is who are your superstars that people are going to go out of their way of, like, wrestler X is in my city, I have to see them. Osprey might have that pull a little bit. Maybe not enough. But who else? MJF's a guy that if he was, like, I would really go out of my way to kind of see MJF. But who like, will Moxley do it? I don't know. Moxley's tried it. Danielson, I don't know where Danielson's at. It's a tough sell. Is there a collision tomorrow? No. We're going to collide with WrestleDream tomorrow. As we got Anna Jay, another person that should be on Dynamite. Okay. She's doing okay. Not great. He's not enhancing anyone, though. No, he's a leech. I agree. Oh, shit. You said what I said. He's a leech and does shit for his own benefit to live out of his own career. That has been dead for at least 4 years. Be a manager, be on commentary, anything else. He doesn't enhance anybody. That becomes the dilemma, and you're right. As here we go with the learning tree. You got to remember the moments. Like, people talk about Action Andrade or whatever the fuck. He let the kid get the pin, but set the kid on fire. The kid never was saw again. Didn't help him get over it. MJF only survived him because MJF's so good. Eddie Kingston he leached off of. Now he, like, Brian Keith comes in. Brian Keith could be doing good shit. When this falls apart, he's going to be no more over than he was before. Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara. You tell me somebody whose career is better because of Jericho. Nobody. Even when Jericho fell off the cage during Blood and Guts, all Jericho talked about was him falling. Not Max winning, Jericho falling. Selfish. Oh, no.
Speaking of selfish, I'm going to say a shellfish instead of selfish, but shellfish.
Yeah.
What the fuck was Jake Roberts' promo? What the fuck was that?
He was running back the gambit, buddy.
Are these matadors? Are these ninjas? What the fuck are you saying? Like, people are trying to, like, Jake Roberts had a Chipotle after he had a cerveza on his flight to Tijuana at one point, so he's perfectly fit to manage his fucking faction. What are we doing? It makes no sense, and it's already off to a flat start.
Yeah, and I mean, this idea of trading wrestlers, grown-ass men, it's weird.
It fit in, like, the 80s. Excuse me. It fit with Heyman and everything.
Yeah, but they never traded talent. Like, you never seen Heyman sitting down with Heenan and being like, all right, you give me 2 of yours and I'll give you 2 of mine. Like, it was literally like a heel would turn and get away from a faction. But this whole idea of, like, you can have my boy now. Like, what the fuck? If I was
it's fantasy wrestling.
Right? Like, Lance doesn't have a say in who his manager is. You can just trade me away.
Well, no, it shows the stature and the value of Lance Archer if you got to trade him for 3 people.
It's so weird. Now, what are we going to do with Lance Archer and the Callis family?
I still think the Callis family is going to actually go full heel. Because, well, yeah, because with Ospreay and everything, they've been wishy-washy, middle of the roadish. Like, you can't go full heel because you have Ospreay, who's the top babyface in the company. So now I think they lean into going full heel, and they become the dastardly, faction that they're supposed to be.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that in a lot of ways. And right now, Romero and Keith having a pretty good match, and Rocky's got a lot of jam to him. Like, and we see him a lot in New Japan, Nick. Like, he's getting the crowd going. He knows how to work the crowd. He's playing them up. Come on, guys. And you're getting a crowd reaction. Where are these guys?
Well, he's big in the New Japan Strong booking and everything like that. So it works really well. And he's again, it's a mind that Tony has access to that refuses to listen to.
Yeah. MDB, if I knew we were going to get more Anna Jay and Harley Cameron on Wednesdays, I'd be a lot more excited than I am getting Soraya and Monet.
Yeah, you wouldn't be moaning and saying Soraya.
Yeah, the hardest hold I've seen of the night was fucking Harley's fucking shirt holding on to her fucking chest. Like, it was fucking barely fucking holding that grip.
Whips and chains, handcuffs, smack a little booty all whipped by a belt. Scream help.
What is she doing? But want it if you got it, as Tony said. Again, I mean, it's just personality. What I look for in wrestlers, and maybe it's because the era I grew up in, and we had all these big personalities, Nick. Like, we had the Austins, the Rocks, the DX. Like, there was these larger than life personas, and that's what I'm dying for in AEW is a good, like, more, not just this guy wears trunks and wrestles good. His work rate is solid. Like, get the fuck out. I need some personality. Where's my cheese?
We see it in doing what we do. You see it in life. You see it in every day of whether you listen to music, what have you, and anything that anytime you get invested in a person or anything, is because it's them turned to 11. It's them, and you actually feel compelled into them. You feel like you understand them, what have you, versus it's just a thing. Like, when you take a wrestler and you turn them up to 11, whether it be a Foley, an Austin, or a Roman now at this point, what have you, that's when it works, versus when you just sit there and they can flip-flop, wish-wash between either side.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. You're spot on. And that's what I want. Like, I feel like people that I really want to see, Mark Briscoe, even an Anna Jay to an extent, because I want to see what she can bring to the table. But Harley's got a shit ton. We just talked about, Rocky showing off some charisma and attitude. Like, I want that on my shows.
You just want to see Anna Jay at the table at this point. I'll say that. But yeah, no. If you had Anna Jay, and we've talked about this, if you had Anna Jay and Jack Perry, and now it's weird because you have Anna Jay, who's the baby face, but Jack Perry is clearly the heel, but they're together, which, again, weirdly enough, we shouldn't know, but we do. Lean into it with that way. Granted, you're super, super heel heavy when it comes to AEW, I feel. Like, WWE, some people can question that. AEW is heel heavy. You're hard pressed to find a true baby face.
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, again, there's a lot of what people think nowadays, modern wrestling fans think are not everybody. Again, Meltzer, situational heels and baby faces, all these tweeners, and it kills your product.
If everyone is great, it's almost halfway goes back to the Wyndham quote of, I'm the red letters in a world full of black and white. If everybody's gray, you don't stand out. You just fit in.
Yeah. And again, the tweeners have to be exceptions. They can't be the standard.
Yeah, 100%. Because, again, and this is, shameless plug of why we stand out, because you stand out or you fit in. And a lot of people try and fit in, but we stand out. But yeah, if you're a different, slightly darker shade of gray, what have you, on AEW, you just part of the fold at this point. You're not anything that stands out. You're not anything different. You're not anything special. You're not anything that draws eyes. You're not an attraction. You're not entertainment.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, and I think that, I mean, like you said, and even the case of not only, you know, trying to fit in. Some people just outright copy other people. That's a bad habit to get into. When you just want to, you know, you want to be one of the sheep so bad, you start fucking trying to follow others that buck the system. If NXT beats AEW on Wednesday, AEW, now it's November 6th, I believe. AEW might just pack up at that point. They won't, though. Like, there'll be a million reasons why. Oh, they used John Cena and they did this and they did that. If they beat them, there will be nothing but excuses.
No, but still, I never want AEW to fully pack it in or anything like that. They are crucial. They are a linchpin to the wrestling ecosystem. We don't get the WWE we have now, honestly, if AEW doesn't exist. And that's why, again, it's not hate, it's more it's constructive criticism with this of either if you're going to be the alternative, go the alternative, or if you're going to be the copycat, if you're going to be the light beer to, you know, WWE's, you know, Full Throttle and everything like that, then admit it. Go. You can't tiptoe in between. You have to pick a lane and go with it.
Yeah, that's it. And man, I'll be honest. Again, if this match was on Tuesday, I would have. It would have helped. This is a really, really good match.
But this is again why I say Brian Keith should be the one taking on Mark Briscoe instead of Jericho.
And this goes to the point where a guy like Jericho taking the spotlight from a guy like Keith hurts Keith.
100% of you're having this match that's a solid match on a Rampage that 200,000 are probably watching, and no one's gonna remember, no one's gonna talk about after this. But you're expecting people to pay $50-$60 to watch Chris Jericho,
right? Cody Rhodes left AEW, is now WWE champ. Jade is tag champ. Ethan was NXT champ for a little bit. WWE signs talents and pushes them. When you bring in a free agent, look what they're doing with MCMG, dude. When you bring in a free agent, you got to make them feel special. Now, if you're Alexis King and you haven't quite earned that feel yet, you work your way up. That's fine. But look but they're giving that kid a chance. With the other names, like Cody didn't come back and have a feud with nobody. Cody came back and was a big deal. Took on Seth and then moved on. Went after Roman. Like that, I think, Tony, again, because of egos. The Chris Jerichos, the Bucks. You bring in FTR, you bring in the grizzled young vets, you bring in, I believe ego hurts AEW. Is the true cancer of AEW, very much like WCW. Egos killed the business.
100%. Well, it's funny that you were talking about Ethan Page, you know, all ego, but yeah, no, it's knowing how to show restraint. Again, I think is the ultimate telltale with this, of knowing not doing too much, not going too far, not going overboard with stuff, not going too far too fast.
Oh. And again, Jake took a knee. That's a story that we heard, but I mean, it could be years of just ripping darts and smoking everything you could find. Murder.
Honestly, when has Jake the Snake out there been like, hey guys, 100%, I can't wait till you come over? It's always when the man comes around.
Yeah, but now
he's out there, smoky, gravelly.
Yeah, no, plus he does have COPD. Like, I mean, that's part of that rasp. But yes, I heard the same thing Big Dog's talking about. He took a knee to the larynx and it fucked up his talking.
The Lorax? Did he tell you not to chop down a tree?
As by the way, big Bill's here, and this is gonna end quick.
Right. Well, I like this from Boston. I'm sure AW diehards would probably try and say The Rock is taking away something from younger people by being in the Bloodline feud, but that just isn't the same and doesn't work. You know it's coming though. Yes, but again, it's doing it in instances. It's not doing it weekly. We don't get Dwayne week in and week out. We get drops, we get dribbles, we get this and that's from Dwayne. Go ahead.
Not only that, Nick, it's also the value you bring. Like when The Rock shows up, the building goes nuts. When The Rock if you told people Rock is going to be X place. People buy tickets. He is a draw. And at the end of the day, he enhances the story. And for me, I get the comparable, but if Jericho was drawing money, then we'd have a different conversation. He's not. That's the issue. So to me, it comes down between dollars, but that's the main event.
Yeah, that's how the fuck we end this. So we're ending your go home, your final moment to let you know, folks, to make sure you watch WrestleDream outside of me and KJ and our beautiful beards and everything like that. It is Brian Keith, and Rocky Romero, and all of that. You didn't even have a Chris Jericho sighting with that, which thank God. But yeah, you just have. That's this go home. That's the send home moment, because you had the Tuesday go home show on Dynamite, which felt weird as it was. Besides it's Tuesday, but it didn't come off that well. And now your last moment, you're not getting a collision. You don't get a second chance. This is your last moment to sell people on the pay-per-view is Rocky Romero and Brian Keith with Big Bill and all of that.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. And we sell into the countdown. So going into midnight hour is the countdown for WrestleDream, folks.
Yeah. 316. I'm not going to click on anything about Liv Morgan, so you better find another topic to talk about. KJ.
Right, facts, my guy.
Aubrey Edwards is just no soul. Brian Keith's intimidating. Yeah, I mean it's fucked. She's the toughest woman in the company.
It's hard to startle a horse.
Not really.
Nice to say nay.
Bearded words make wrestling world go round. Facts. Well, Nick, I think we've done our due diligence tonight. I think we've checked off all the boxes.
All right, I think the boxes went away. We checked them off so much that they went away.
We're out. We're shutting down.
Right, 100%, folks. Closing time.
Yeah.
Hug up all the doors.
We're getting ready for tomorrow, folks. No, ladies and gentlemen, that is Rampage. I'll be honest. I thought the main event and the first match were better than anything I got on Dynamite this week. It's bizarre to me. I thought, the main event was pretty good until the ending, a little overbooked, but it was fun. But that match earlier in the night was all right. This is what I need. But anyway, we don't really take ratings on Rampage. It's not fair to pick on, it's
no, come on, go ahead. I was going to say nothing outside of me being a wrestling nerd and everything like that has me excited for WrestleDream. Like I'm excited for Danielson versus Moxley and everything like that, because I followed along and everything. Not anything they've fully built to an extent, especially on the last week. The go homes, you had 2 go homes, and nothing really sold me on your main event. But I'll digress with that. You have the triple threat. I'm here for it. I'm excited for it. You have Jay White versus Hangman Page, a match that could steal the show, one that's super stacked and everything. Like there's a lot on WrestleDream, but they have done nothing, and I do mean nothing, to really sell me on why I should want to buy this pay-per-view. Why I need to put my money hard down on this.
Time out. They just added 2 more matches to 0 Hour, bro.
Yay!
See, we get between 13 and 15. Tony can't help himself. He's like a kid in some kind of store.
that sells candy or action figures or toys. I don't know. What do you call them things?
Right? Just 2 more matches. And again, no offense, Anna J. Harley, save it for Dynamite. Acclaim Maximum Male Models, save it for Dynamite. Don't waste it on a pre-show.
We've been saying this now for what feels like at least a year or more. Of you book a week's worth of wrestling for one pay-per-view. Why not just book a week's worth of wrestling and then a pay-per-view? Like, it's okay. Even if you don't do the 5 matches, do 8, do 9. How dare you to say something so bold? You only do 9 matches instead of 15, and you save the other 4, 5, 6 matches you were going to book for your weekly television to build into the pay-per-view. Holy shit, what a novel idea.
Right? You know what? I'm going to give Rampage a 5 out of 10. I think that I'll give 2 points for each match that I really liked. And then I'll give a bonus point for Harley and Anna Jay combined, so they get half a point each. 5, which is 1 point higher than I gave Dynamite, just for the record.
I was on my pause for all of this, so you get a 4. You get a 4-piece. When you look, you don't get a 3-piece with the soda on the side.
Right. There you go. Mario, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying. Be a friend, tell a friend, come by anytime. We are the wrestling peeps that you can't find in your real life.
And the wrestling fans, you need wrestling homies you need in your real life.
But Rampage was a 5 all the way. Nick blowing his stack again. What a surprise. Wait, what? That's Miles.
Don't envelop me in your fantasies and everything like that. I don't need to be blowing nothing on you or anything like that, my guy. You do you. You keep that shit to yourself.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, on that wonderful fluffy note, that is the show. That is the stream tonight. Make sure you follow all our social media, TikTok, Twitter, X, all the above, Discord as well. But be a friend, tell a friend, take our link, share it anywhere you know people love wrestling, including Facebook, MySpace. I don't care where. Put it on a billboard, stick it on walls at your local fucking gym. Let everyone know about the Wrestling for Life Network. We are back tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. WrestleDream. It was all a dream.
I used to read Word Up magazine every day. Limousine. But our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you better put that full life with it. Dream on. Dream on.
Come back tomorrow. We'll see you on the flip side, and we will get our dream on. Good night.